Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 66. This is our 2025 NFL season preview episode. So things are going to be a little bit different for this particular episode. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and I am joined by the Avengers team with Mr. LeeJay Parrilla and Mr. Erik Pimentel. And I just want to get into it, and I'm going to read something to both these gentlemen, and I want to get their raw reaction and before we get into talking about the Jets, the Giants, our three storylines each that we're going to be looking at for the whole season. We're going to do a tier system for the teams. We're going to do our predicted records for everybody, Super Bowl predictions, and then at the end of the show, we're going to have Erik and LeeJay go head to head in some NFL trivia. But first, this is something crazy I was looking at today as I was getting ready for the show. The last time both the Jets and the Giants finished an NFL season with winning records was in. Anyone want to take a guess?
Um,
LeeJay, what do you
2016.
got?
20.
No.
Say that again. What was the question? I'm sorry. Repeat it.
The last time both the Jets and the Giants finished the season with winning records.
With winning records. Holy shit.
Damn, I should have kept the center of that question.
2009.
Close. It is 2010.
Damn, because
Wow.
that was the last time they made the playoffs.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. In that year, the Jets finished 11-5 under Rex Ryan. That was the year that they made it to the AFC Championship. And lost to the Steelers 24-19.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, they were 10-6 under Coughlin, but they lost a bunch of tiebreakers and didn't make it to the playoffs that year. Now, this is where things get sickening for both teams. Since then, the Giants are 98, 145, and one tie for a 404 win percentage. Now, the Giants did win the Super Bowl in 2011 against the Patriots. Still, the Jets are 93 and 151 for a .381 win percentage. LeeJay, I will go to you first. When you hear this, what's the first thing that goes through your head about these two teams in the last 15 years?
New Jersey football sucks. And this is why I have a different reaction as I get older and I see this crap.
It's really unbelievable. When you look at the combined, that's almost 300 losses between the two teams in the past.
You know how I look at it too? Just
Yeah.
like New York and overall sports, we have multiple teams for each
Yeah.
league, meaning baseball,
Right.
basketball.
Yeah.
And it's one out. It's if the 50-50 shot, and none of y'all could do it. Meanwhile, we have all these other successful franchises that have one franchise. Some being football, that's the only sport they have.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Kansas City.
And they're right, and they're always successful.
Right. It's crazy. Erik, what's your gut reaction when you hear that?
Sickening.
I thought I heard a little vomit there.
I mean, the only thing you can say is that we got one Super Bowl in the mix in between those years, but other
That's
than that,
it. Right. Yeah.
that's all. We had that one time, we had one playoff. Was it 2016?
Yep.
And other than that, man, it's been garbage ever since. So
And the one little where Daniel Jones tricked y'all.
Right. Yeah.
What year was that?
that.
20, the first year of Dayball?
Yeah,
it was
2019,
2022. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure because I had that up before as I was looking at this, and let's see. Yeah. So yeah, as Erik said, it was 2016. They were 11-5, and they lost the wild card playoff, and then the 2022 when they finished 9-7-1, they got the wild card berth. They beat who the fuck did they beat?
Minnesota, I think.
Minnesota. Yep. And then they got their asses handed to them against the Eagles.
The Eagles.
And then
2016 was the OBJ picture on the boat that you
Oh,
loved.
that's
Yeah,
right.
The boat picture.
That's right. That's
with jeans
right.
and Timbs and no shirts.
And the and
jeez.
the and the wild thing is, when you look back at last year, and we'll obviously get into it, the 3-14 record, it was here two things, three things that happened last year. Franchise worse than losses, right? Their first time they've ever lost 10 games in a row in a season, and the first time that they got swept in the division.
Jeez.
And that's how you finish
Yeah, you get swept.
3
If
and
you get swept in
14.
your division, it's lights out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One thing I
At the
yeah,
very worst, maybe one team sweeps you, and then you split with the others,
yeah,
like the
right.
lower, like the ones on your
Yep.
level type of thing.
Mhm.
But once you get swept in your own division, you might as well say, "See ya."
One thing I will say, and I'm Eric, I'll be curious to get your thoughts on this particular, because I always talk about this on the. This is the thing I always bring up with LeeJay, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. The fact that the Giants consider themselves like this quote unquote model franchise, right? But yet, if you look at the stretch that they're in,
Hmm.
98 and 145 and one fucking tie. Again, great, you got the Super Bowl, but the fact that there is no consistency to this franchise,
Yeah.
and yet you guys call yourselves one of the model franchises, I'll never understand
They are a model for losing.
that.
Yo, I'm a Jets fan. This is offensive.
Yeah. We sharing the misery, brother.
This is very offensive.
Shit is insane. Okay, let us go into the Jets, and let me set this up a little bit this way so that there's some context here. So the Jets finished 5-12 last year. They were third place in the AFC East. It was their worst record since 2021. Believe it or not, they actually started the season 2-1
Yep.
before going on a 5-game win streak. And I think it's safe to say that there are at least 3 games in that 5-game win streak that they arguably could have won. And I watched one of those games with LeeJay in Milwaukee when they lost that 10-9
Oh,
fucking
God.
debacle against the Broncos.
We should have known that was going to go bad because that big ass place and the Jets, they gave them one little TV on the far end of the restaurant. You remember that? We should have known.
Yeah.
We should have. They were telling us that this game's going to suck, which it
Yeah,
did.
exactly. So it was the second and final year of what turned out to be a horrible experiment with Aaron Rodgers. On October 8th, following a Week 5 loss to the Vikings in London, the Jets fired Robert Saleh, the head coach, and they promoted defensive coordinator Jeff Elbridge to be the interim head coach. Joe Douglas, the general manager, was also fired, and this came after a Week 11 loss to the Colts, which had dropped the Jets to 3-8. And obviously, during this time, we all heard a lot about what Woody Johnson was doing and was meddling in things and whatever. Off season, there's an overhaul. Aaron Glenn comes in from Detroit to be the new head coach. Darren Moogie comes over from Denver to be the new general manager. They decide to clean house and say goodbye to Aaron Rodgers. Of course, the most talked about signing in the offseason is Justin Fields as a new quarterback to try to be a bridge to whatever the Jets might do in the future. And the one last thing I will say is that overall, there does seem to be optimism. I know that's hard to believe with the Jets about Glenn being able to turn this thing around. LeeJay, going to you first here, and you're obviously going to guide the conversation, but what do the Jets need to do in 2025 to make the season seem like a success in your eyes?
Not be knocked out of the picture the second week of the fucking year. Let's start there.
Yes,
Jesus
sure.
Christ, man. Can we watch some meaningful football in November, December when it matters? And I can say, you know what? I'll go to a game and I'll freeze my ass off, but it's worth it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'll start with Justin Fields because we talked about him. I didn't mind him going to the Jets or even the Giants. We
Right.
spoke about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel for this kid. You know, Chicago gave up on him. And I'm not saying he's like the greatest. He's really, he's I guess you want to say good to average to good quarterback, somewhere around there.
Right.
Maybe B level, maybe high C level. I'm hoping that this is like when everyone they know maybe they're not the best and they just need someone to believe in them,
Sure. Yeah.
and maybe it just pushes them a little bit, even though they're not as talented as other quarterbacks, obviously, as we can see in the league. And I'm
Right.
hoping that Glenn having faith in him, talking him up, the Jets in general just having some faith in him, and I mean, and maybe that helps him a little bit. I don't know. I mean, he didn't do bad with the Steelers last year. I think he went 4-2. Just that Tomlin just was hell bent on going with Wilson and sticking
Yeah.
with Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this opens his eyes a little bit. I'm not saying he's the future or whatever, but this is another opportunity for him. This is probably his last opportunity. I'll say that. This is
Obviously.
definitely his last opportunity to be a starter. I don't think he's going to throw a lot, because I think this will segue into my second point. The Jets have 3 good running backs. Starting with Breece Hall, who didn't have the greatest year last year. I think he was coming off the injury, maybe whenever it was. Isaiah Davis, and then Braylon Allen, who's he's like a truck. I wouldn't want to get in front of that dude. I mean, just start with let's start with the running game. That could help them, and then he's gonna run a lot, so they'll run pass option. That's gonna be, I would say, he's gonna throw maybe max 20 times, 22 times. I think they're gonna try to protect him in that way.
I can see that, yeah.
To protect him from himself. I think Aaron Glenn's gonna try to do like what we remember the closest we remember to old school football. Protect the quarterback with a good offensive line. They have a good offensive line. Run the ball, and throw short to medium passes, the medium pass game. Maybe every now and then take a shot down the field, but that's not what they're going to do, because I don't think that's Justin Fields' strength. And then, like I said, run with him. I think Ahmed Garner, because I'm not giving him that nickname. It was taken from me. So we're going to go by his given name.
Damn.
He has to do better defensively. And I think the first game of the year against the Steelers is going to show that, because I'm pretty sure they'll put him against Metcalf. And that's where it starts. DK Metcalf is a beast.
Right.
He's tall, he's strong, he's fast. Garner is, slim, tall, fast too, but I doubt he's as strong as he is. You can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I want to see like some creative stuff too, man. You got this offensive coordinator. I forget his name. They got him from Detroit. He was under Ben Johnson. Tanner Engstrand. You had to have learned something under this guy.
I was gonna say, but here's okay. Let me stop you there, because I just finished watching Quarterback on Netflix, and obviously Jared Goff was one of the quarterbacks that was and we'll get into that. We're going to talk about Goff a little bit. They had this propensity to do the trick play, right? We've seen it. It happened in the playoffs, and guess what? It bit him in the ass, because that dude threw an interception in the game against the Commanders. Sorry, not the Redskins. Do you think do the Jets have the talent on offense to do these type of things?
I don't know. I've never seen them do it.
Right? Yeah. Could Garrett Wilson throw a pass?
I can't really answer that. I just would like to see some creativity. Put it that way. Not so much to the trick plays, just some creativity, man.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't want to see Madden 2003 HB dive. I don't care. You know what I mean? Something. Right. Just be creative, man. Like, it's not complicated. You under Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's supposed to be one of the greatest, great offensive mind in football. You had to have learned under him.
Yeah.
Granted, to your point, do you have the talent to do that Detroit had? Probably not if you just look at it. But you can still be creative.
Yeah, sure.
As far as how you run a play. You don't have to necessarily be a trick play and have the wide receiver throw or this guy throw. No, just some creativity, man. Just something new, a breath of fresh air. Nothing plain Jane stuff that's boring that we could call it from this guy's going left. Oh, shit, he lost for 2. Oh, damn it, I called it. Stuff like that.
All I'm thinking about in my mind is the fake trip that Goff did, where he faked like he tripped and then he threw it.
Stupid.
Eric, I don't know if you've seen the Netflix series Quarterback. Have you watched it at all?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so there's this one thing that they do. They do it in practice during the week where Goff like fakes like he falls, and he does fall, right?
No, he loses.
Did
He
he
makes
actually-
believe he loses his balance. He
Right,
doesn't
so
actually fall.
That's right. Maybe he loses his balance, and it's supposed to throw the defensive off, and the wide receiver's open for. I don't. Was it a score? I can't remember if it was a score. Or
I think
touchdown or not.
I don't remember, but it was a big chunk play.
But I could just see the Jets trying that with Fields and the fucking backlash from the media in the aftermath of that. But anyway, that's what goes through my mind right now.
And my last thing is, I got two more things. One surprising thing.
Okay.
I just want to see, there's a lot of, I don't want to say hype because, Aaron Glenn is who he is. He played here. He wanted to coach here. I think it's a little different, the bravado behind him. I just want to see how the players take to him when the regular season happens. And if they take to that, I'm going to get in your face because you effed up. And you're not going to do that again.
Right. Yeah.
I think players need that nowadays. I think he's the right guy just because he's played here. He's played here. He knows, how it is here. He's played with bad teams. He's played with good teams. He's played with shitty coaches. He's played with great coaches. So I'm happy. I want to see. I'm looking forward to see how he coaches and his demeanor on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And my last thing,
oh boy,
which is kind of Giants related.
Oh boy.
Once I start speaking, you're gonna know where I'm going. So the Giants right now have 4 quarterbacks on their depth chart.
I know exactly where this is going.
And my assumption is I know who the guy that's going to be sent to the practice squad, and any team could pick him up after that. Yeah. If this was what happens, I want the Jets to sign Tommy DeVito.
Keep him in Jersey.
I want the Jets to sign Tommy DeVito. Tyrod Taylor's, sidelined right now. I don't want to see this guy Martinez. I'd rather see DeVito. DeVito's played NFL games. Whether we like him or not, he's won. He's done things that showed him, he's not a starter, but he's a good backup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my closing statement on the Jets. So I actually wish that actually happens.
Interesting. That's interesting. Eric, I know both obviously you and I are not Jets fans. So we don't really have to go too deep into this, but what is your I guess gut or whatever mind saying about the Jets for this year?
Well, they're obviously going to be a run first, run second, run third team. Right. I could see them, obviously they're going to change it up, but I could see them like run, button hook to a tight end for an easy play for Justin Fields. It kind of reminds me, and Will, in the mid 90s when the Giants had Rodney Hampton.
Oh God!
Like Rodney Hampton would rush 40 times and get like 110 yards or something because the Giants didn't have anything else.
Yeah,
it was Kent Graham and Dave Brown. So yeah, exactly. So I kind of see that happening with the Jets. Garrett Wilson, I feel sorry for him because he's not going to get much. He's not going to get much run this year. I mean, he may surprise us, but it all boils down to Justin Fields. I think their run game is going to be what carries the team. And you mentioned LeeJay, you mentioned those 3 running backs. Another running back to keep an eye on if any of those guys get hurt.
Oh, your man from Michigan?
My man from Michigan, Donovan Edwards.
Edwards. I liked him. I actually liked him in Michigan.
So, bro, in Michigan, I'll tell you, from a Michigan fan, he's a home run guy. So he was a backup most of the time because 2 years ago, Blake Corum was ahead of him. And then this year he was splitting time. But the guy's a home run hitter. And another thing he does, you want to talk about the trick plays you mentioned, he's thrown 3 touchdowns in college. So he throws out the backfield. So don't be surprised if he does get some playing time for those couple of trick plays that they like doing. He passes the ball out the backfield. Remember when that I said that. But yeah, I just think overall, and I'm not a Jets fan, obviously. I just think that this year boils down to Aaron Glenn, having these players play for him and play hard for him. That's the thing that you got to look for. Mm-hmm. And then obviously it's his first year coaching, so I'm sure he didn't get all the players to fit his system year one. So that's something that you can look forward to year 2. So he'll get his type of players for the second year. This year, I mean, it may not show in the record, but as long as the team doesn't quit on him, continue to play hard, as a Jet fan, I would say that's something you should think positive about.
Yeah, I think the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, LeeJay.
I agree with that. Like I've always told you, I mean, I'd rather see, if my team loses, I'd rather see them play hard.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off one of your points before, maybe this helps too. Justin and Garrett played together in college, so maybe that helps a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe.
But let's see.
Yeah.
I think the one thing for me out of everything that you guys said, and I'll be frank, I did not do like that much of a deep dive with the Jets on my own. I'm curious to see, to LeeJay's point and to Eric's point, about how Glenn handles this now, because again, I know the quarterback series was focused on the offense, but you would have to think that whatever magic was happening in Detroit the past few seasons is going to rub off on Aaron Glenn, and it's going to rub off on the guy in Chicago, which we're gonna talk about the Bears. Luke, that's for you. You would hope that stuff would rub Ben Johnson. You would hope that stuff would rub off on him. And I mean, listen, I'll be watching all the Jets games. I don't know how many games that they're both teams are playing at 1 o'clock. I think it's actually a fair number of them, which I fucking hate, which I'll never understand. But I do think that they will be better than what people are going to give them credit for, or are giving them credit for right now. And I do agree with LeeJay's assessment that Justin Fields, having somebody that actually believes in him, and he's not fucking terrible, you know. It's they make it seem like he's like fucking like Kent Graham. He's not Kent Graham, and he's not Dave Brown. Right? Yeah. He's not those guys. So he has athleticism. It is there. So I mean, I do foresee better things for the Jets for 2025. That being said, LeeJay, I will go to you first. What do you have them finishing this year?
9-8.
Wow. Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
Yep. 9-8.
9-8. Now, here's the other question.
It was a little bit better than that, but I thought better. I just I had to take some things away from there.
Right.
And we're not going to go through it, but I ran down it team by team by myself earlier.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that's I could see better than that, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to leave it at 9-8. I wouldn't even be surprised, like for the first year coach and stuff, even if it went to like 7-10 or 8-9.
Yeah.
Depending how it looks, I actually want to be mad at that, because at least I could see, if I see a trajectory of it.
Right. That's what you want to see.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Am I going to be disappointed? Sure. But it'll feel different.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Now, do you think, and we're going to get into this later on, but do you have them making the playoffs in 9-8 or no? Or are they missing the playoffs?
I got that written down here as well. I thought we were going to do that in the other segment.
No, we will. Yeah, but I'm curious, because if you say 9-8, does that mean a playoff appearance for them?
I have them as a dark horse, so that could go either way.
Okay. That's we'll get into that. So you have them as a dark horse. Okay. Yeah. Eric, what is your predicted record for the Jets?
I got them going 6-11.
6-11.
Yeah, and only because it's like, well, me and you have done, watching a football game when you don't have a good offense is so frustrating. Because especially in the NFL nowadays, people run up scores like crazy. So even if you have a good defense, you got to be able to put up points to match that. And I just think right now the Jets don't have that firepower on offense. Even if they have a good defense, I mean, you may lose games 20-10. You hold a defense to 20 points, you have a chance to win if you have a good offense.
Yeah.
And I just honestly, I don't see it. I don't see it right now. I mean, they could surprise the hell out of me. LeeJay's way more optimistic than I am. But, maybe Aaron Glenn has some tricks in in his sleeve that could turn it around.
So I'm in kind of like the middle. I've got them at 8 and 9. So I've got them. I think they're over under, if I'm not mistaken, was what was it, 5.5, 6.5?
5.5, I think,
Five
something
and a
like
half.
that.
Yeah. I think for me it is the Glenn factor. I just don't know. I do think the NFL is a lot about coaching. Probably out of all the sports, preparation, coaching, the way you do things. And LeeJay and I talk about it all the time. A million fucking things happen during a play, right? So if everybody's in the right position as much as possible during that chaos, you probably have a better chance to win games. And seeing Glenn's personality, you would think that they're going to be prepared as much as possible. Don't forget, this team was, I think, the most penalized team in the NFL last year, if I'm not mistaken.
That's undisciplined. That's
Yeah,
coaching.
right. So,
But so was the Lions defense, though, which Aaron Glenn coached.
This is true too.
that is true.
So
That's a good point.
yeah.
But you would have to think that there will be that things will be better overall. And I think it's because, like LeeJay said, he's not going to take shit from anybody. At least that's the vibe that we've gotten so far this year. So
Yeah, I mean, especially if you come from last year's team that from all the reports it was run like a country club, where people just did whatever the hell they wanted to. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's good that Woody Johnson's gotten himself out of the way. I really do. And I think he needs to just stay away. He's got to be the money man at the end of the day. And they fixed up the clubhouse, the training facility place, and that's on the up and up. Just stay out of the way. Let these guys do their jobs, and that's it at the end of the day. So, all right. Anything else do we have to say about the Jets? No. Okay. Nope. Let's go on to the New York Football Giants, who finished. I mentioned this earlier. Let me just scroll into my notes here. They finished 3-14. This is how they celebrated 100 years as an organization, by going 3-14. So great fucking job. So of course, a lot of the focus for half the season was the horrific play of Daniel Jones. By the way, guys, if you go watch the video, LeeJay's trolling all of us by wearing a fucking Colts hat right now. And somehow, some way, Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
I even have more surprising news later as we get deeper in this.
Oh, fuck you. I hate no. I'm going to cut that part out. So, somehow, some way, despite being 3-14, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane keep their jobs. Now, that being said, there seems to be a bit more optimism in the air for this team this year, and it's not because they went 3-0 in the preseason. I think it's because we all know Jackson Dart is waiting in the wings. Russell Wilson is going to be the starter, but we're already hearing the chatter about when is Dart going to be the starter this year. Hopefully it does not happen, barring catastrophic injury to Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So, I mean, the Giants still have, you still have your high-skilled players like Malik Neighbors, even though he's had injury issues during this preseason. Tyrone Tracy had a pretty good rookie campaign at running back. The defense, at least the front four, is vastly improved, though I know there are questions about the secondary. And the offensive line, I don't know. TBD on how that's going to turn out, even though it was a big, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Jones was one of the most sacked quarterbacks until he got released by the Giants midway through the season. Eric, I'll let you get us going here for the Giants, but what do you think has to happen for them to be a quote-unquote success in your eyes for 2025?
Okay, I got three things. So number one, Andrew
Mhm.
Thomas needs to stay healthy.
Bingo.
Yep.
He needs to stay healthy, man, to protect Russell Wilson or whoever's behind that offensive line. You know, he's proven when he plays, he's a Pro Bowl caliber, all pro caliber tackle.
Yeah.
Now he needs to stay on the field. That's my number one. Number two, and we talked about this, 2 months ago when I got on the Kayvon Thibodeau effect. Kayvon Thibodeau needs to have a good year, and what I mean by good year, I mean double-digit sacks at least. He has the skills, he has the tools. I broke down before what I don't like about him. Hopefully he learned some more moves besides just trying to get around the end. And my third one is people want to say the secondary. I'm not going to say the secondary. I'm going to say the linebackers. To me,
Interesting. Okay.
the reason I say the linebackers is what scares me about the Giants having all of this pass rushing is that they forget about the running game.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I broke down Kayvon Thibodeau, what I said about he goes around the end, they run in that gap, and they're gone. Bobby Okereke, Michael McFadden, they need to have a good year in that linebacker position because Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, and Burns, they're going to just focus on rushing the quarterback. And yeah, you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle, but Dexter Lawrence gets double teamed a lot. So to me, the linebackers plays a key role as far as the success of the Giants this year. So I got, like I said, Andrew Thomas, Kayvon Thibodeau, and the linebacking core.
Do you think, to LeeJay's point, well, really to your point, you said about Fields, and maybe even LeeJay, what he said about he's only going to throw maybe 20 times, 25 times in a game. Do you think they're going to let Russell Wilson air it out, or do you think they're going to err on the side of caution and try to do the same, like play some smash mouth football, play some old school Giants football? How do you think things will go on offense for them with
No,
Russell
I think
Wilson?
I think they're gonna air it out. They obviously they got Tracy, you got Scatterboo. I think Scatterboo's gonna be more like the goal line back type of thing, replacing Tracy.
Hmm,
I think they're gonna air it out, man. I mean, you got Russell
interesting.
Wilson. Russell Wilson, again, he's on the back nine of his career, like they like to say, but the guy still throws a great deep ball, and we've seen that in the preseason. So Malik Neighbors, he's a threat. You know, we got other Wandale Robinson is the little guy, the little slot guy, and that gets his 10, 12, 15 yards. And they got two good tight ends. So I think they're gonna give the ball to Russell Wilson and they're gonna let him go.
Yeah, one thing I'll be curious about is if they have somebody, excuse me, somebody else in that receiving core needs to step up.
It should
They
be
need.
Jalen Hyatt, but who knows?
Well, that's kind of where I was going. It should be Hyatt, but we don't really know. But yeah, because I mean, look, listen, we saw it last year. How many times was Neighbors double teamed?
Yeah,
Constantly,
yeah.
constantly double teamed. So if you don't have another guy that can make a difference on the receiving end, then yeah, Neighbors had his plus 1,000 yard season, but it's just like you're gonna make things that much difficult for
And
him.
and the
So
and the reason why Hyatt being so inconsistent in the preseason now, from what I've heard, they're talking to Gabe Davis to pick him up. He used to be the Buffalo wide receiver, and
mm,
he played at Jacksonville
right,
too.
yes,
So
yes,
they,
yeah,
I guess nobody's picked him up yet. So they're talking to Gabe Davis again. And that's main reason is because Hyatt has looked up and down this preseason. He dropped like 3 balls. He scored 1 touchdown, but he dropped some catchable balls. So who knows?
LeeJay, your thoughts as the Jets fan here?
Oh, I
You're
agree
pretty,
with him. His
you're
first one,
pretty
that's
fair on
that.
the Giants, so
The
yeah.
first one Eric said is the first one. That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's Andrew Thomas. This guy's got to
Mm,
stay on the field. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He's got to stay on the field. He stays on the field. It helps everyone else on that line, and the quarterback needs to be protected. I mean, we know who Daniel Jones is, but you know what? He got sacked a lot, and
yeah,
he
he
probably got
did.
sacked a lot over the last few years. And Andrew Thomas not being part of that line probably had a lot to do with it. Um, Neighbors, he has to have a big year, and he also has to stay injury free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's even if they double team and triple team, whatever. There's but so many defensive players on the field, and that'll come into what you guys were saying. Maybe somebody else will get more open looks because he's just taken over, and they have no choice but to double team this guy, right? So he could affect the game that way too. You know what I mean? Um, Maybe get the tight end involved some more. They got that one guy. What's his name?
Theo
Oh
Johnson.
God, I can't remember his name right. Johnson, right?
Yeah, Theo Johnson.
He might get some more looks. So that's gonna help. What we always talked about, they have to keep Jackson Dart off the field.
Yes, yes.
They have to keep Jackson. Like I said, the only way you should see this kid is if it goes really, really bad and you just want to put him in for like the last couple games.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But if they're like 5-5, dare I say like 6-4, just keep on doing whatever the hell you're doing to win, whether it's ugly, pretty, whatever. Do not think that if you put him in, he's going to take you to that place that you're thinking of going to. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Please do not put that kid on the field. And
Totally
lastly, if the Giants, I don't care if they have Jackson Dart, this is their guy, this is not their guy. If the Giants shit the bed again, Daboll and Joe Shane will be fired.
No, they gotta go. I mean, the fact
I don't care if this is their
yeah.
guy, if this is this guy, if this is their woman. I don't care. They have to go.
Well, I mean that's the thing that I think I'm worried about. Look, we know a lot's been made. They've got the toughest schedule in the NFL. There's no getting around that. We know that. That's already out there. And LeeJay brought this up. I think it was last year or when Jackson Dart was drafted. I forget. Yeah, it must have been when Dart was drafted. Because I think the scenario was, oh, what happens if they have another bad season, but they have their guy now? You can't keep using that excuse because they have their guy. You got to have some kind of results on the. I need to see some kind of marked improvement from 3 and whatever the fuck it was, 4 and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
4 and 14, right? 3 and
Mm-hmm.
14. Like if you can't at least double that win total, there's a fucking problem. And I don't give a shit. I don't care how tough the schedule is. You got to find a way to markedly improve this year. And you see all this stuff. Oh, Daboll's got his step back. He's got his step back. He's happy. Daniel Jones is not his quarterback anymore. He's got Dart waiting in the wings. Okay, I want to see that translate to the field because, and we all watched the games. They made some fucking stupid mental mistakes last year, and those mistakes weren't there in the beginning of Daboll's reign. And all of a sudden, team getting bad. Do you take the foot off the gas as a coach? I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but it just seemed like everything just went ass backwards last year, and Daboll looked depressed on the sideline every single time. Maybe it was the weight loss. I don't know. He's not eating enough junk food anymore. That could be it. But I think the biggest thing for me, 2 things. One, I want to see some marked improvement this year in all facets of the game. Because I think the excuses are done with. Daniel Jones isn't here anymore. That's it. He's gone. That was the big excuse for Giants fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of them. Daniel Jones. Guess what? He's not here anymore. And now you have your guy waiting in the wings. And to my second point, which is what we all have agreed on, that Jackson Dart cannot. I don't want to see him at the very least until, like LeeJay said, the end of the season. Now, do you do a Drake May type of situation with what the Pats did? Remember how they kind of like eased him in last year, and then he winds up taking over the starting role? I don't know if I would necessarily have a problem with that. I just don't want you doing it in the first 4 weeks of the season when you're fucking playing the Chiefs. I think the Eagles, they have a tough schedule, like to start. The whole schedule's tough, but you want to have this rookie playing against some of the top defenses in the league right away? No. I don't want to have that happen. So I think for me, it's really just a marked improvement in all facets of the game because I feel like the excuses are over now. That's it. Mr. Jones is not there anymore. So for me, I have the Giants finishing at 7-10. And I feel like if you can at least double your win total, we got a fucking problem going forward. I do think a lot of people are saying they're going to be a problem. And I think it's because hopefully the defense does well enough that they do cause havoc for opposing teams. Get me 7 wins. It's not. I don't think that's much to ask for. So anyway, Eric, what do you have them finishing for 2025?
Yeah, I like you said, get me to 7 wins and I'll be happy. But I have them at 8-9.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I have them at 8-9 just because I think, I mean, that defensive line, man, they gotta dominate. They have to.
That's what everybody keeps on saying. Yeah.
If they don't dominate, forget about it. You're not winning 7. You're not winning 8. You're definitely not winning any more than that. So if you don't, I mean, breaking down the schedule like I did, I had them. Obviously, there are some teams there that are easy wins, like the Saints. That should be a win,
right?
And then the ones that are iffy are one like a Vikings, things like that.
Yeah.
The 49ers could be an iffy one too. So I kind of that's why I went 8-9 instead of 7-10.
Okay, that's fair. LeeJay, what do you got?
9-8.
9-8. Wow, you're more confident than we are.
9-8. Because
I'll take that right now.
They say this is a tough schedule, but there's fraudulent teams on that schedule that
there's
I
a few
talk
of them
about later.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Interesting.
This might have to do more with maybe second year jitters. I don't know. Maybe not that the schedule's not hard because football's hard.
Yes.
Obviously, no matter who you're playing. But there's a lot of winnable games on that schedule. I feel that if everybody says what they're saying about the Giants, those teams that they're playing are on their same level. So it's just a matter who plays better.
I think you're right about that, and we'll get into it when we go through our tiers and our records. I don't think, and I could be eating crow at the end of the year, or when we do our mid-year episode, mid-NFL episode, I don't think there's going to be one dominant team this year. That's my belief. And you'll see that as you go through the win-losses thing. I don't think there's going to be one dominant team this year. I think it's going to be a lot of like very good teams, but I don't think anybody's getting to 14 wins this year. That's my opinion. Anyway, do we have anything more to say about the Giants? Are we good?
We're good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let us get into the 3 storylines that we are following for the 2025 season. This is basically, if you joined our episode last year, this just gives us the ability to look outside our bubble because we're so focused on the Giants and the Jets. But I think with the NFL, when you look at all the other sports, I think it's safe to say most people are in tune with the league as a whole in a lot of ways. I probably know more about the fucking Chiefs than I do about the Atlanta Braves, for instance. So that's kind of the way I look at this and look at this segment that we have coming up. So basically, each of us has 3 teams, and that person will lead the conversation, and we'll just kind of riff off of what they're saying, and we'll go from there. So Eric's, and I put them in this order, so hopefully it's fine. But I feel like this is the troll job because Eric has the Colts as one of his teams, but yet LeeJay is the one wearing the Colts hat. And I feel like it's a setup for later, and I guess we'll get into that. But, sir, what do you have to say about the Colts, and why did you pick them as one of the teams? By the way, we'll go through a rotation. Eric, LeeJay, and then myself, one, and then we'll go back around, and we'll do it that way. But anyway, Colts first. You're up.
So this Colts season is so intriguing to me. I'm going to be watching some Colts games this year.
Yeah, so am I.
Because obviously Daniel Jones was named the starting quarterback, but something even deeper is what does this say about Anthony Richardson that Daniel Jones, became the starting quarterback, and the Colts. Two things. I blame the Colts actually. Two things. Number one,
Yes, that's what a lot of people are saying. Yeah.
the Colts should have either done two things: either not drafted him at that position, or if you did draft him, don't play him right away. Either way, the Colts screwed up. Anthony Richardson only started 13 games in college, and he went 6-7. It's not like he went 12-1.
Right. Yes.
He went 6-7. He obviously wasn't ready for the NFL. So, two things I take by this for Anthony Richardson: either he sucks it up, he starts grinding in practice, gets in that playbook, and if Daniel Jones gets hurt, he comes in and gets a second opportunity, or he just cries and moans about it, and then he gets traded.
By the way, there's a pretty good chance that Daniel Jones will get hurt. Anyway,
exactly. Go ahead. So that's my take on that as far as like Anthony Richardson and the Colts, screwing the kid up, because talk about Jackson Dart. That's the perfect example of why you don't start. And Jackson Dart started way more games in college than Anthony Richardson did.
Yeah,
way more.
Agreed.
The second thing, obviously, is Daniel Jones. I'm curious to see how he does with the Colts, because let's face it, the Colts at least are better equipped than the Giants were. They have a better offensive line. They got Jonathan Taylor at running back. They got good wide receivers. They got, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. So Daniel Jones has the core around him to be, I'm not saying he's going to be, Brett Favre, but he could be a decent to, may I say, good quarterback.
Are you drunk right now?
No, honestly, bro, because I'm just comparing it to the Giants. Offensive line was horrendous. They had no running game. Yeah. They had no wide receivers. And I'm not.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, I'm not making excuses for how bad Daniel Jones played with the Giants, because I mean, if you really break down the tape, he made some really bonehead throws.
Oh yeah, we talked about it a lot. Yeah,
double team, triple team, guys wide open that he missed. So I'm not saying that, I'm not using this as an excuse when he was at the Giants, because he did a lot of crazy plays, but he's on a team that's well equipped around him. So that's the reason why I say, I mean, he better be at least decent. He better be, or else he's going to be a career backup after that.
One thing I will say about this whole situation, I agree that I will be, well, I don't know if I'm going to buy a Sunday ticket, probably not, but just have red zone at the very least. I'll be curious to see how things play out with him. But to your Richardson point, I was having a conversation with my buddy Carl, because obviously, he's a Giants fan as well. And my question to him was, is Anthony Richardson that bad? This was his response, and I want to read this because it has to do with what Erik just said. This is what Carl says. He was an unfortunate victim of a bad organizational development. Everyone knew he was a raw project when he came to the draft, but they put him in as a starter on opening day as a rookie. And then they tried to do the whole, quote, we can win with our good roster while developing him bullshit. And the roster's good, to your point. He goes on, the results were bad. He made it worse than himself, basically asking out in the middle of a game last year. And now the coach is worried he'll be fired after this season. So it's almost like a desperation play. It's in some respects, which is fucking crazy to think that somebody out there is thinking Daniel Jones is going to save my fucking job.
Well, it's a desperation ploy, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll give the Colts credit this. They saw that, guys, I think we made a mistake. And they tried to fix it year 2, unlike the Giants waiting 6 years with Daniel Jones. So at least to their credit, they said, we screwed up. This might not be our guy. Let's get a guy that could come in here and compete for the starting job.
Well, and now the whole thing is, I'm already seeing the questions out there. Should the Colts, quote unquote, tank
Yeah,
So that's going to be a fucking no.
No.
That is going to be a conversation this year for them. So, LeeJay,
you can tank all you want. Nobody's losing more games than the Saints.
Right. LeeJay, any thoughts to share on, because you're wearing a fucking hat. So, go ahead, sir.
I actually agree with everything Erik said.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to base it off of, forget about what we see as fans. Let's take that off the table. If you listen to a lot of people speak about Daniel Jones and they could tell you something afterwards, they're lying. People still to this day believe in Daniel Jones because of what Erik said.
They do.
Because everything he did not have when he was with the Giants. This is a fact.
Yes,
they talk about this today.
Yeah.
On radio shows. You don't listen. You don't listen as we spoke, but Erik listens. So it's a fact. So these guys, we're gonna keep it to where these, and I'm not mocking, I'm not trolling. These are the professionals, correct? These are the experts.
Right.
This is what they say. So based off what they say, this is what I'm going by. Whether what we see or what we don't believe in. So this is his opportunity. Better offensive line, that's a fact. Better running game, that's a fact. Receivers, you can call it what it is. But if you have time to throw the ball, somebody's going to get open. And as long as you catch it, you're good. Right? Defense, whatever it is. Correct? Yeah. So based on all of that, like I said, I agree with Erik on his stand with the Colts. But let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Is he this or he's that? And here's the other thing, too, with the Anthony Richardson thing. Will and I, we talked about this. This guy played 12 games total. Right. That tells you right there, whoever's in your front office don't know what the hell they're talking about.
He didn't have the experience.
This guy played no football, no experience, no nothing. They say, oh, but what about Jaden Daniels? Jaden Daniels played football. He played a lot of football.
He did.
There's a difference in that.
We went over that, yeah.
So they signed him to a 1-year deal. It's not like they gave him a 5-year contract at $150 million and said, you know what? The Giants did him dirty. We're going to do him right. That's not what they did. They said 1-year contract. Let's see what happens. Worst comes to worst. If Anthony Richardson gets his head out of his ass, maybe he learns a little bit of something. Halfway mark. We're not doing so well. We could put him in. And at the end of the year, worst case scenario, guess what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of both of them. We'll have a high draft pick and we'll move on. That's how the NFL is.
Yeah.
So right now, the Colts really, to me, aren't in a lose situation. Let's see what everybody has been saying about Daniel Jones, if he has the necessary, quote-unquote, tools.
Yeah, tools. My ass.
Your ass may be one of them. That's personal.
Oh, God. All right. LeeJay, for his first team, he's staying in the division with the Buffalo Bills. Sir, what do you got?
I think this is... kind of obvious of why I'm saying this.
Oh yeah, I think I know where this is going.
I think we're at the point with the Buffalo Bills, super talented, well coached, great front office, great quarterback, great players. Your Michael Jordan is Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And you've been losing to him in the playoffs since 2020. We are in 2025. Not that it'll take anything from him, but I feel like he's going to answer this another way. But you know who Josh Allen wants to see in the playoffs to make it to that next level. He wants to see the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's his kryptonite. Mm-hmm. And granted, it's not a one-on-one. It's a 53-50. We get that. But we know how everyone judges this stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And he's been doing nothing but losing against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. This is the last year we're going to talk about this team moving forward, doing anything. The gig is up.
You think so? This is it. They have to do it this year.
They have to do it this year. I think we've been talking about the Bills for two. Just look at everybody's for the last few years. How many times have the Bills been in someone's Super Bowl picture? Right? Raise your hand if you're guilty.
Spoiler alert for later.
Raise your hand if you're guilty. Correct. Look, and again, spoiler alert over here too. Spoiler alert. We don't learn. And how many people out there that are experts are not going to learn?
Oh, God. This is funny.
How many people are going to die on that sword? Because
right.
the talent's there. The
Right.
QB's there. Everything's there. The defense is there. Patrick Ewing and the Knicks couldn't beat Michael Jordan. It sucks. Neither could Olajuwon. Neither could David Robinson. This is what happens. Josh Allen, it's on you, buddy.
I mean, listen, and to foreshadow for later, I have very high expectations for the Buffalo Bills this year. I mean,
but we can't keep talking about this,
right? Yeah.
You understand? It's not nothing wrong or anything. Eventually, whether we do this here, 2-man, 3-man group, whatever it is, and the experts, eventually we have to say we have to move on. That's how I look at things.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you could say the same thing about the Ravens to an extent.
Correct. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I wanted them all to be with Buffalo because
right,
their nemesis is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And it's been the Chiefs. Yeah. And the Chiefs continue to win. And they win Super Bowl. It's not like they beat the Bills and then they get eliminated the next round. They go on to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What you want to do. And you haven't gotten there yet. So that's why I picked the Bills. And I just think it's an interesting story because I think this is we've for me personally, we've gotten to that line.
No, I agree. It's funny. It's funny you say that because when I was sitting down and doing my, I did a lot of it last night and some of it this morning. I'm looking at the records, and I'm looking at who I have making the playoffs, and I'm like, how can you not pick the Bills to go far? Because I mean, Josh Allen's the reason number one, obviously. And then, as LeeJay said, they have a pretty good team. So that's kind of I'm in this. Listen, I agree. I mean, Eric, sounds like you agree as well. But I'm in the same boat as LeeJay.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is the year. If they don't do it this year, they'll probably blow the team up. Honestly, the coach will get.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean the coach. Not everybody loves that coach. By the way,
right.
he's just there because he wins. But not everybody loves him. So I kind of think this may be put up or shut up year for the Bills.
It's funny you mentioned a blowing up thing because I thought that would have happened sooner. To be quite honest, I thought maybe they would have done it after this past.
They talked about it, I think, a couple of years ago. It was
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
The only thing that may
Eric. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Eric.
No, the only thing that may not stop them from if they have if they don't win it all, blowing it up. Is that I believe their stadium is scheduled to open up next year.
Yes,
mm-hmm,
yes.
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason because they don't want to bring any bum team to that, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a good
point. But it's
point.
Eric's point. Like, even if rumors happened, then they won the winning, so they really can't justify the firing of the coach. Mm-hmm. So they keep him.
Yeah.
Because remember, they were talking about, rumors were coming around when he made those comments about. Remember, he was comparing players in the 9/11, like the terrorists.
Yeah.
I don't remember exact quotes. So I don't really want to misquote him. I don't want to do that.
That exactly was it.
But there was rumors about he should be fired. No one should be blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? Yada, yada, yada. Just based off of that, which was idiotic, obviously. But he didn't get fired. So, like I said, me personally, I'm not a Bills fan, but I'm at that line, just us talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the hat. And I see there are a lot of fucking Bills fans up here where I am. I mean, that LeeJay, that Pill and Oats brewery, they're a Bills bar.
Oh, they're
yeah.
Do they think they're closer to Buffalo than they are to New Jersey? Which is why they're Bills fans.
They're Bills fans and they're Yankees fans. So do with that with what you may. Okay. My first team here probably shouldn't surprise anybody because I did this last year as well. But I think this is even more interesting with the Bears. The Bears. And it's really about one person. And it's Caleb Williams. I mean, this is what this comes down to. Now, part of the reason why, and I mentioned before that I just finished watching Quarterback, which is the documentary on Netflix that follows around Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, and Kirk Cousins. So Ben Johnson now, he was the offensive coordinator for the Lions. These are in Jared Goff's 3 seasons with Ben Johnson as his offensive coordinator. Goff averaged 68% on completions, 4,500 passing yards, 32 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Goff did have success when he was in LA in his first 2 years. Um, Actually, his last 2 years with the Rams, the the total numbers were a little bit less, a little less on the average. So Goff did actually improve with Ben Johnson as his offensive coordinator. My question is going to be now, I don't know if Caleb Williams is on the same level as Jared Goff. I do not know. But can Ben Johnson turn Caleb Williams into one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL? And I will say one thing. The one positive for Williams last year was that he only had 6 interceptions. He didn't really give the ball away. But guess what? He got sacked a league high 68 times. That's going to be a fucking problem. Here's why I think they could be better. They finished 5-12. They've had just like the Colts, they've got the weapons. They got DJ Moore, Odunze, and Luther Bird in the third at wide receiver. They got the dual tight end threat with Cole Kmet and this guy Colston Loveland. Keenan Allen isn't there anymore. So that means somebody else is going to have to step up now. DeAndre Swift, he was pretty solid at running back last year. Nothing spectacular, but he was very serviceable. So basically going forward for this year, I think all eyes are going to be on Williams. They say the offensive line has improved. We shall see about that. The defense is probably what it is, but listen, the other issue here is they play in arguably the toughest division in the NFL. Now, I don't think the Vikings and the Lions are going to be as good as they were last year, especially the Vikings. I think there will be some regression, but they're still the Packers. You know, they're in the toughest. They're arguably between the NFC North and the AFC West. I think those are the two toughest divisions in football, and the Bears are smack in the middle. You know, are in one of those divisions. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'll put that out there. But again, when you have all this hullabaloo with bringing in Ben Johnson and everything last year under Eberflus was a fucking disaster from the beginning, a fucking disaster. Don't forget the game that they blew when the guy was like waving to the crowd against the Redskins, the Commanders.
Yeah.
That was the Bears. Mm-hmm. That what happened. That was the Bears. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's who that's one of my key storylines that I'm going to be following. Is just kind of what happens for Caleb Williams and the Bears, especially now that Ben Johnson is the coach. Because again, watching that quarterback show, can these guys turn things around in a really tough NFC North? So, I don't know if you guys have anything to add there.
I got one thing.
Yeah.
I think, like you mentioned that. I'm sorry, LeeJay. You wanted to
wait? Hold on, LeeJay. What is that?
I was going to say real quick.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, he's a head coach now. Yes. Offensive coordinator, you can focus on all that stuff. You have too many things to focus on now just to direct your attention to a QB. This is why it's hard to be an NFL head coach. You have so many different aspects to be in charge of where you just can't focus on the quarterback and calling plays.
No, I get that.
I don't know if he's also going to be the play caller, which I've always disagreed with that.
Let's see. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I just think it's so much on your plate, especially as a first-time head coach. Just be a head coach. That's it. Okay? Running an offense and running a whole team is two different things.
He is not going to be the offensive coordinator. That's going to actually have somebody calling the plays.
And to be honest with you, my last thing, I don't really have faith in this guy, Caleb Williams. I don't know what it is. I don't know
what it is.
No, we're not going to do that. You're not setting me up like that. I don't need anyone attacking me on the internet.
You want to get canceled?
No. Painty. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Bears.
Eric,
Oh man.
anything to say about the Bears?
Yeah, I agree. I don't see the Bears winning much games this year. But you mentioned a stat about Caleb Williams that he only threw 6 picks last year. That could be misconstrued because that could mean that he just didn't take any chances.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
There's a famous Bill Parcells quote back in the day where he told Phil Simms, if you're not throwing 2 picks a game, you're not trying.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Basically meaning I need you to, throw in coverage. I need you to, if a guy looks if a guy looks covered, throw him open. So, maybe Caleb Williams is not doing that. And it's funny because my coworker, who's a big college football fan, huge college football fan, he watches more college football than he does pros. He said when Caleb Williams first came out, he's like, if you look at his highlight reel, those guys are wide open most of the time. That's not going to happen in the NFL.
Yeah.
You got, as a quarterback, you need to throw your receiver open sometimes. And maybe Caleb Williams can't do that. And that's why he didn't take any chances, only threw 6 picks. Who knows? I mean, I didn't watch every Bear game. I didn't sit down and analyze it, but that could be it.
Yeah. No, I'll be curious to see, as one of the teams I'll be looking at. I'm just curious to see how they're going to especially again in that division, which is going to be it's going to be a grinder. So we shall see. All right, Eric's second team, the Miami Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins are a bad start away from getting blown up. I think
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I think honestly, Tyreek Hill, I can see him losing his mind and request a trade. Mike McDaniel, I can see him getting fired. I honestly see it. Don't be surprised if obviously you can't rely on Tua staying healthy because he never does. Another guy that doesn't stay healthy on that team is their running back A-Chain. The guy is he has speed for days, but he can't stay healthy. So every year the Dolphins get off to a good start and then they fizzle towards the end. Every year. I don't know if it's because they're used to playing in warm weather and then they play these good teams in cold weather and then they suck, whatever the case may be. But one of the things that made me open my eyes last year was former player, Dolphins safety, Deshaun Elliott. He said on a podcast that the team was soft as F. And he said they lack mental and physical toughness. And guess who that falls on? That falls on the coach.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If you're saying your team is soft and you lack physical and mental toughness, that goes right on the coach. So I could see them, if they get off to a bad start, I could see Tyreek Hill losing his mind, doing an Antonio Brown and just flipping out, honestly. and Mike McDaniel getting canned. Seriously.
What do we? Let's take a pause here because I'm curious. I don't know if we've actually. I think LeeJay and I might have talked. What do we think of Mike McDaniel? Do we think it's like it's a gimmick? It's a shtick? Is he really like this? Because I just don't know. Forget his appearance. Like that's not. What was the thing he said a few weeks back? It's a good day because we're a day closer to death or some shit like that. It's just like, bro, what the fuck are we doing here? Do you guys take this guy seriously? I kind of don't. So
I called it when they hired him. I said, this is another one of these guys that they're talking about, has all these great ideas, great offensive mind, and he won't be around in 3 or 4 years. And I agree with everything Eric said. And it's funny that we're on lockstep on a lot of these things because we haven't talked about this, so I'm laughing. I agree with everything. That team, I don't believe in Mike McDaniel. Tyreek Hill is a wacko. That's a team right there. Spoiler alert. No, ain't happening. That team will be blown up at the end of the year.
That team they're too finesse. And that's why when it comes time at the end, when the games get real serious, that's why they lose. Every year, they're too much of a finesse team. And then your two guys, Tua and A-Chain, always hurt. So I don't see the Dolphins doing much this year.
I'm looking at the I want to see what the Dolphins' depth chart is because do they have a viable backup? Zach Wilson. Okay.
Yeah, Zach Wilson,
There you go.
0.
Wow. Okay. And then Quinn Ewers is the third stringer. Wow. You know what's funny? Eric? A Chain, he's already listed as questionable on the injury report.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Not
He's
surprised.
and so is Tyreek Hill. Already
Yeah.
at questionable on the depth chart. That's fucking crazy.
If analytics had a face, it is Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, don't forget who the starting tight end is for the Dolphins this year.
Your boy.
Yeah, Darren Waller.
Oh, that's another one. Dude is
he's their number one tight end.
Oh
Crazy.
my god.
I mean, I think, obviously probably follow the Dolphins a little bit more closely because they do play in the same division as the Jets. I think a lot of it does come down to Tua. I mean, can he stay healthy? I mean, I don't know how this guy's still playing, to be quite fucking honest with you. He probably shouldn't be.
They also gave him that contract, so that's part of it probably as well.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's also like, Jesus Christ, man. Can you imagine? Listen, when you have the fucking president of the United States, I don't know if you guys saw when they did that.
Oh, when he pronounced his name?
Yeah. Well, it's not only that, but talking about, that guy's been injured. That's like, okay, you gotta. Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I don't know how because you can't prevent him, right? You can't play NFL football being afraid of getting hurt, because then that's when you get hurt. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I don't know, man. I do think you're right that it's almost a Bills situation in the other way, because they're not that great to begin with. So why not another fucking bad season? Just blow it all up and then kind of go from there. So it's yeah.
Hot take: Tyreek Hill is going to be traded back to Kansas City.
Wepa.
I can see that.
Hot take.
They really have
Travis Kelce. Hotter take. No, I don't know.
With Taylor Swift to be named.
I was about to say, you have to take it with Taylor Swift.
Holy shit! All right, LeeJay's number 2 team, the Dallas fucking Cowboys.
Whoop-de-doo. And
I think this is for all the same reasons with the Bills. Not so much of like making it to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. As people know, I actually like Dak Prescott as a quarterback. I think he does a lot of good things in the regular season. I mean, he's gotten hurt a few times here and there, whatever. But it's put up a shut-up time for that dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm sick.
You either got to take a big fat shit or get off the pot. You gotta make the playoffs and make a little bit of a run. Not make the playoffs and then get blown out like you did by Green Bay. And everyone's like, I didn't see that coming, blah, blah, whatever it is. Okay? Listen, you're the QB, and just like Josh Allen, they're gonna always blame it on you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. America's team, okay, whatever. We want to keep talking about that crap. He just needs to finally make a mark, because I just think he's an easy target for everyone. Like he puts up these good numbers during the year, and then when it's time to make some noise in the playoffs, he just doesn't. And eventually, contract or not, I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but they're going to have to move on from him, because you just can't put up good numbers during the regular season. It just doesn't work that way. You have to win in the playoffs. And he has CeeDee Lamb. They got George Pickens, I think, in a trade from the Steelers. He's a bit of a knucklehead, but he's good. I just think it's time for them, not for them, but just for him as a personal goal, at least make it to the second round. Dare I say the NFC Championship, and see what happens.
How much do you think? And you said you're watching a Netflix special now with the Cowboys, because you hear a lot of the Cowboys haven't been the Cowboys in a very fucking long time. They just haven't been. How much of that has to do with the fact that Jerry Jones is just not a good evaluator of talent, do you think?
It could be, but it also has to do with, I guess that has to do with the coaches he's hiring too, and the people he has to evaluate this talent.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't see something. I don't know. I think Dak Prescott is talented. I just don't think he's taken his talent beyond the regular season. Like he doesn't show anything in the like the last one I remember was that 2 years ago, because last year they didn't make the playoffs. They got the doors blown off by Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, I think we were celebrating your birthday when that happened. Remember
Right,
that?
we were
At that
yes.
bar in
yeah,
Beacon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And they got blown. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, what's happening here?"
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by that. I mean, you like with the Bills, you just can't keep doing these things. You can't keep on rolling out the same things because you have faith in them. You can have all the faith you want, but they're not showing you or allowing you to, that faith to come through. It's just not happening. And I just think he needs to get his shit together.
Yeah. Erik, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any thoughts. I agree with what you said. It's if you think about all the teams that we've talked about so far, it's a lot of put up or shut up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah,
the Cowboys being one, the Bills being another. These are teams that, and on the verge of saying this is not working. Let's do something about it. So I agree. I agree with everything LeeJay said.
Yeah, I just I just wonder about Jerry Jones because I mean, look at this whole thing with Parsons, right? Like first, but I don't know. Do you guys see him taking his fucking nap on the sideline? Dude, like, come on, like that shit can't be. That to me, when I see shit like that, to me, there's something wrong in the building. And for me, that always starts with, in this instance, with this particular franchise, it's Jerry Jones. So, and I always joke about this with Danny. You guys ain't going anywhere till that guy fucking dies. Seriously, because it's like this guy is the judge, jury, and executioner for that franchise, and nobody else is. I mean, I don't know. Are people afraid to give their opinions because it's Jerry Jones, or like what? So that's why I always go to, in this instance with them, because I don't have them making the playoffs this year. Until that guy is out of his position as GM, I just don't think that they go anywhere because you're not getting the right talent in here. And the fact that they were toying with the fact of either drafting Shador or maybe picking him up if he got cut, that to me is a fucking joke as far as I'm concerned. So again, until that guy dies, I just don't see them going anywhere.
All right. Say about him dying real quick. I want to segue.
Yeah.
I'm not segueing into something. I'm not trying to be funny, but we could agree that he's, he didn't become rich. He didn't go to sleep one day and he became rich. He's a prideful man. He's a smart man.
Yeah.
Right? Does death come into factor here?
As far as
what do I mean is by that? Jerry Jones is old. He's in his late 70s. No,
he's 82.
78, 70.
I just looked it up. He's
82.
Yes, he's 82.
Even worse.
By the way, you want to know what his net worth is? You want to guess?
8.7 billion.
Wait, what did you say? 8 point what?
Billion.
What did you say?
8.7 billion.
17 billion.
16.1.
Oh, close.
But you don't think that death is on this guy's mind?
It has to be.
So that takes part in what he's doing here. And as far as decisions that he's making.
Interesting.
And stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be funny. What do you think about when you get to these ages? I think to myself, what am I going to be thinking about when I get to these to this age? If I'm lucky enough to get to that age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you owning a team and you want to win, and you're just like, God, another year. Now I'm 90. Holy crap!
Right. I see.
What's the next best thing? Somebody help me. Who can I bring in here? Tell me now, or you make the decision. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Does that take part of how his mind thinks or how his mind works?
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to win before he drops dead. Because it's been a long time, as you said before, a very long time.
Wait, did something about this come out in the documentary that you're watching? Did they allude to this?
No, I just thought about it. I just thought about it right now.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I do want to watch the documentary because you said it was good, right?
It's starting to fall off a little bit. So like the first 3 to 4 episodes are good. And now it just... if you watch it, I'll let you be the
Okay.
let me know what you think.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. We're going to stay in the division, and we are going to go with the team formerly known as the Redskins, and that is the Washington Commanders. Which, by the way, breaking news today: Terry McLaurin signed his fucking contract,
Yep.
and now he is one of the top paid wide receivers in the league. What was the number here? 3
3
years,
years.
$96 million extension.
At
Boy,
his age,
oh
I think that's a
boy.
good contract.
Yeah. Well, what was it? What was the thing that we said about who was the comparison? The guy on the Broncos. Oh fuck, I forget.
No,
You know who
that's
I'm
the
talking
defender.
about.
What the heck's
Hold
this
on,
guy's name?
Broncos depth chart. Give me 1 second.
Is it
It's
Sutton?
gonna come up.
Yeah.
Yes,
There you go.
it is
Cortland.
Sutton.
Yeah,
There
Sutton.
you go, Cortland Sutton. So, he got his money, and it was funny. I'm already seeing headlines. Well, this changes the Week 1 matchup between the Commanders and the Giants. That guy was in a fucking sign. Come on, guys. You knew this was going to get fucking taken care of before the season started. Anyway,
What's the guaranteed money? Like 60 or 70 million, something like that?
that's a good question.
Because that's what it's about.
Let me see. I'm not seeing it in this article.
I think Hendrickson with the Bengals signed too today.
Oh, did he really?
I think so.
Interesting. Let's see. 3 years, $96 million. I am not seeing anything
It'll
about.
come out. I'm guessing anywhere between like 60 and 75 million, probably guaranteed.
Yeah, interesting because Tyreek Hill, he's the only other receiver older than 30 that's being paid 30 plus million a year, which is interesting. Huh. Jamar Chase, 4 years, 161. That's like he's 25 though. So anyway, so going back to the Commanders, I think obviously they came out of nowhere last year. They finished 12-5. They make it all the way to the NFC Championship, and they lose to the eventual champions in the Eagles. I think the biggest thing that intrigues me going into this season is two things. Is Jaden Daniels the real deal? That's number one. I think he is. But, sophomore jinx and all that bullshit, if you believe in that crap. That's number one. And I think number two is going to be, can they handle the scrutiny of being now considered a top team? And what I mean by that, they're playing in 5 primetime games this year. Can you tell me the last time you think that the Commanders and Redskins played in that many games in prime time? I don't fucking know. Maybe doing RG3? Maybe.
I don't even think so.
Because they were, and not only that, they're playing in an international game in Spain. It's the first time the NFL has been there. They're going to play in I think it's Madrid, November 16th against the Dolphins. I don't know what it is with the Dolphins always getting these international games, but I would not be surprised. I don't think they're going 12-5 again. I don't even think they're going to win. I think they're actually going to struggle to win 10 games. And the only reason I say that is because there are no more surprises with Jaden Daniels anymore. We have seen in this league that people adjust, defenses adjust to these surprises. So I think things will be a little less not easier, but they won't be as successful. I think this year, but I still think they're going to make the playoffs at the end of the day because they're that type of team. So I think for me, the reason why I picked the Commanders was really to see, can they repeat the success that they had last year now that all this attention is not on them, especially when the NFL starts throwing you into primetime games like this. That means you're on their radar and you're considered one of their top teams going forward. And you know what? They have the quarterback. And Eric, I'm sure you thought the same thing last year, boy. When they were winning those games last year and you saw Jaden Daniels playing so well, you're like, fuck, man. The Giants are going to have to deal with this shit now. This surprise guy that comes out of nowhere. Yeah. So what do you have to say?
Yeah, I had the same doubts about the Commanders. Even when I was doing my records and pretenders, contenders rankings, I had them like iffy on whether they're a pretender or a contender. I totally agree with what you said. Second year quarterbacks, you got to be careful. I mean, perfect example was the CJ Stroud last year with the Texans. He had a great rookie year. Second year, not so much. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with what you said there. I like with you. I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't. We'll see. It's second year quarterbacks, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. LeeJay, any thoughts on the Commanders?
I actually think they'll be fine.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't worry about the second year thing. I look at a lot of like how a person speaks, how they carry themselves. I think he carries himself well. Not to say that CJ Stroud didn't.
Yeah.
I just think Jaden Daniels has that it factor. I could be wrong. I like Dan Quinn as a coach, and they just stick to what they did last year. They'll be fine. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Commanders.
Yeah, I think the one thing too, and we brought this up earlier. Again, looking at Jaden Daniels' college career, this guy played a lot of fucking football at LSU. And was he at someplace else before? I forget if he
he might have. I don't.
Right?
Yeah, he might have. I don't remember.
So the guy played a lot of college football. It's almost the equivalent in some ways. It's not a direct comparison, but you know how in Major League Baseball, you're probably better off drafting the college kid because they've got the more experience and they might not, look at Pete Alonso. He got to the majors relatively quickly after after the Mets drafted him. NFL, you can kind of make the case. Jaden Daniels plays a lot of NFL games. Jackson Dart, we'll see. He played a lot of, I should say, Daniels playing a lot of college games. Jackson Dart did the same thing. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. Anyway, okay. Third and final team for
Eric. You hear that? You hear that?
What?
Phillies 1, Mets nothing.
Come on, we're not talking about. I'm cutting that out. Last team here, Jaguars for Eric.
Yeah, so with the Jaguars, I'm curious to see a few things. I'm curious to see how they use Travis Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Two-way player. If they use him primarily as a wide receiver and team him up with Brian Thomas Jr., I think they have a potential to have a deadly 1-2 combo. Which leads me to the next guy, Trevor Lawrence.
LeeJay's favorite guy.
Going back to, again, put up or shut up. Right. Trevor Lawrence, last year he signed a 5-year, $275 million extension.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's insane.
You want to guess how much of that is guaranteed?
How much? 275, you said?
275 for 5.
I think the guarantee was like 160 maybe.
Well,
I'm going to say
maybe more.
275. What's half of 275? Hold on. Let me do the math here quick. 275 divided by 2 is... I'm going to say 140 was guaranteed.
You both are way off.
Wow.
I knew it.
$200 million is guaranteed.
What? That's insane.
He's tied for the highest paid quarterback per year, $55 million.
With who?
I think it's Joe Burrow. I'm not 100% sure.
But
I think it's Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Burrow's a much better player.
Way better quarterback than
Way better. So, look, again, Travis Hunter has a potential to be a deadly wide receiver and, cornerback. But I'm focused on wide receiver right now. Mm-hmm. Brian Thomas Jr. had a great rookie year, a dominating rookie year. I don't see him taking a step back. So you got those two guys. Travis Etienne, he's kind of iffy at running back. But Trevor Lawrence, I'm looking right at you, dog. You need to step up and see, and that $200 million, people are going to be talking about it if you don't put up numbers this year.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
LeeJay, what do you have to say? Hair product.
LeeJay, what do you have to say about your favorite quarterback in the NFL?
I already gave my answer. I have no faith in that dude. And you know what? They put talents around that guy.
Right.
They put talent around that guy. Okay, so all this stuff, sometimes they say, oh, but they don't do this and they don't. Well, that's everyone else's problem. They put talent around that dude, and I don't see it. He's one of those guys that hotshot QB coming out of Clemson, this, that, the third, won championship, blah, 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 blah. He hasn't shown me anything, and I know he hasn't shown anyone else anything. So if anyone says anything, they're lying. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't have faith in this guy, and that's that.
Eric,
my thought hasn't changed on him.
To your point, and I haven't really done any reading about this, but I don't know, did you see anything in your research about what do they favor Travis Hunter to play? Or are they going to mix it up?
I think they're focused on him at wide receiver, and then he'll be in packages defensively. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I think I saw too.
Yeah. So who knows, that may change, but I thought honestly when they drafted him, I thought it was going to be the reverse, kind of like when Charles Woodson came out of college. Mm-hmm. He was playing both ways with Michigan, but then it was like, no, you're a corner,
right? Yeah,
and that's it. Point. But yeah, it goes to show you, man, the guy has some talent, man. Though now the rumors, is his wife filing for divorce? Is that what I heard?
I heard those rumors. I don't know.
Whose wife?
Travis Hunter. They just got married.
Really?
They just got married.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I've seen it a few places.
I think 90% on the shit on the internet is a lie anyway.
Exactly. So who knows? I mean, hopefully not. That may be a distraction, but whatever.
By the way,
it's so hard to play both sides of the ball in the NFL, man.
Yeah, it is. I don't see. This is not Deion Sanders back in the day. You know what I mean?
Because even Deion didn't do it.
He stood on defense. Right. Eventually, he just stood on defense. Every once in a while, you saw him like come in, like if they wanted to throw like a quick slant pass to him or something. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What was he better at in college? Do we know?
Travis Hunter?
He was good at both. I mean, for me personally, I think he was a. Damn, what I would say is tough because I really liked him as a defender. I mean, he could be either. I just think it's very hard to play both sides of the ball in the NFL. That's just. This is not. They guys got to figure out what's the better side of him.
Yeah,
I think because eventually he's not going to. I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
I was about to say. I think eventually you're going to have to make a decision.
Correct. Because his career won't be his career will be short lived.
Yeah. By the way, there is a bit of breaking news, and I'm just going to put it out there, and we can save it for next episode. But Netflix and Major League Baseball have reached an agreement for some games, and I fucking called that shit. I said it.
Hey, yo, relax.
I said it.
You're gonna give yourself a stroke over there. I don't want to call Janet to my son and gave himself a stroke.
Just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, LeeJay.
Yes.
Your final team, baby. The Pittsburgh Steelers. And we all know why you picked this.
And I want to preface this just in case you guys don't know me. I like Mark Tomlin as a coach, but this has nothing to do with him. This is 100% troll job, and I don't give a shit.
LeeJay's a petty bitch.
I'm petty. Call me Petty White, baby. I want Aaron Rodgers to fall flat on his face and break every bone in his face. And I hope it starts off with week 1 against the Jets and we blow his ass out. And he looks like the limp old man that he is. Because you know what? He came in here with his horse shit and he left here talking horse shit. A man will eventually show you who he is. And he showed you who he is. Listen, I don't care about last year. It's over. Like I said, this is 100% troll job and I'm proud of this troll job. I hope you fall and break your fucking face, you bitch.
Wow.
Jeez.
And that's my comment on the Steelers. I hope they go 4-12 or 4-13. Excuse me.
I don't think I've ever seen LeeJay this fired up on the podcast. Wow, you're choosing violence today.
I'm choosing violence, especially against that man.
Where's that baseball bat you had last week? there
it goes. I'm like Sting right now.
Coming up Rodgers' ass.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I think Tomlin's run's coming to an end. I really do believe that. And LeeJay and I discussed it last year. Should you have moved on from him after last season? I don't know. Is the voice getting tired? Can you imagine? I mean, there would. I don't know if you want to call this poetic justice, but would there be some irony, maybe that
Aaron Rodgers is the reason why you get fired? Yeah, oh, right. I would love that.
Isn't that crazy?
But you know what? I'm not. It's not a shot at Tomlin because he's going to get a job that.
Right. Yes.
But it's going to be more to prove to who this guy is.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Eric, any thoughts on the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I have my neighbor across the street is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and every time we kind of meet each other at the mailbox or whatever, we start talking about football.
Yeah, at the mailbox.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, he hates the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback. He hates it,
And he should.
and he's like in that middle stage where he's like, I want my Steelers to do good, but I don't like Aaron Rodgers, and I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. And that wraps up exactly what LeeJay said.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just wish Aaron Rodgers would just go away. Like I was no, seriously. I really was hoping that he would have retired, and just like, because here's the thing, we're gonna get this shit. He's playing for a historic franchise. We're gonna have to deal with another year on him being on the Pat McAdoo show. It's just like, do we really?
Pat who? Oh,
McAdoo?
that was just a nickname you gave him.
Yeah, that's my nickname for him.
I was about to say, who the hell's Pat McAdoo?
McAdoosh.
Oh, McAdoosh. I thought you said McAdoo.
It's just like, do we really, and the thing, I don't know, is the NFL putting him on the Steelers on prime time more this year because of that, or no? Do we know?
Maybe. I think so.
I would assume they would, but I don't know.
Steelers are always on prime time anyway, so.
Right. I guess, LeeJay, my question, I know you're shitting, and this is like the Aaron Rodgers shitting on him, but who is their backup quarterback? Do we know?
Isn't it
this guy? Isn't it Rudolph still? Mason Rudolph?
It might be.
That's the last time I've known it as. I don't really know now.
Let's see. It is Mason Rudolph. That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the plan long term here for the Steelers? I guess that's my question. Because well, that's the thing. And LeeJay and I have talked about this with other when we talked about NFL quarterbacks last year. The Steelers are always in the middle, right? Who are you getting in the middle in the draft? That's a top quarterback.
Let's take the troll away. They got DK Metcalf, great receiver, right? Good receiver to great, on his way to great if he does the right things. Okay, we could agree with that.
Yeah.
Even if the let's say they make the playoffs at, let's say, 9-8. Let's just say that, or even 10-7. Do we see the Steelers going to the Super Bowl and winning it?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, so my first point is, you sign Aaron Rodgers, you have a good year, you make the playoffs. Even after that, now what? Because if they do bad, you know what, right? He's gone. Rudolph's gone because he's not the future, right? So you know what if they do bad.
Yeah.
What if they do good? And I say win a round in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers at the helm and everything. What do you do? Because you're not getting a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, I think, already said, if I'm not mistaken, this is his last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Yeah.
It's very similar to the scenario you laid out with the Giants last year. What happens if Daniel Jones does well and they play well? Then what's the situation going forward?
I know they did draft Will Howard, the quarterback.
Oh right, yeah, they did. But he's isn't he like one of the older quarterbacks?
Yeah, he was in like college
25, 26 maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
And by the way, I
feel like he is, but I'm not sure.
He's already on the injury list.
Great.
For the first week. So it's just like, okay. All right. My last team, and then we're going to make an executive decision about whether we're going to do a halftime topic here or not. Raiders. Now, I kind of feel like from everything that I've been looking at, that all of a sudden they're like this fashionable pick. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but everybody's like, oh, Raiders. They finished 4-13 last year in, as I said before, arguably one of the toughest divisions between AFC West and NFC North. So they're 4-13. So what happens? They make all these changes in the offseason. They hire Pete Carroll. They dig them up from the fucking grave. They trade for LeeJay's boy, Geno Smith. And then they draft what could be a game-changing running back in Ashton Genty. So much game-changing that they're comparing him to Saquon Barkley.
Good luck.
Not Eric Barkley. See?
Oh, God.
I
Yeah, you got an infatuation with him.
So, that being said, this is, I don't know if this is irony, but Vegas is even buying into it because I think I've seen two things for them: 6.5 and 7.5 wins. I think in all likelihood, you're probably going to have 3 playoff teams coming out of the AFC West. Spoiler alert from later. I just think it's going to be kind of interesting. One thing with the running back, going back to Genty, if you look at the stats, Zamir White was arguably the worst running back in the league last year by a lot of metrics. If you want to look at analytics, he's like dead last in a lot of those running back analytics, for whatever that's worth. I'm just kind of curious to see. I almost, this is almost a similar situation to the Jets with Glenn. Listen, we know Carroll's had success. The guy has a lot of enthusiasm. He's what, pushing 70, and this guy's out here doing fucking drills with his team in practice. And I feel like when players see that enthusiasm from somebody, then maybe that kind of stuff rubs off on them. And let's face it, the Raiders, almost like the Cowboys, consistently, obviously one of the more popular teams in the NFL, but consistently they're shit. Again, 4-13 last year. So that's kind of why I threw them out there, because I do think, and they were interesting to me before I learned that they were like this fashionable pick by the rest of the NFL, because I've seen some people having to make the playoffs coming out of that division, which is, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think that they should be better than last year, but it's also going to come at the expense of probably somebody else in that division, because again, it's a stacked division. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the Raiders. LeeJay, I'm curious because your boy is the quarterback there now, whether that was a smart thing for them to do to trade for Geno.
I don't look at it with him. I don't, whatever about Geno Smith. I look at this as like the Pete Carroll effect.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This guy is an older gentleman, late 60s, whatever he is. He's running up and down the sideline. The only thing I hate about Pete Carroll is when he chews that fucking gum. I just want to punch him in his face.
He's 73. Oh, my God. Okay.
Look at that.
He's past 70.
He's running up and down, clapping, cheering his team on. There's a thing to that.
I think so. I agree. Yeah.
You're 4 times, 5 times younger than him. You're like, if this guy is running up and down, excited and about life and just everything in general about his team, it should boost you up a little bit. Mm-hmm. No? So
no, I agree.
I think that does have an effect on a football team, and seeing that kind of stuff. At first, when they hired him, I thought it was a mistake.
I did too.
But I think they just felt like for a team like this, maybe an older guy, a veteran coach could have helped them, which is probably why they decided not to go the younger route, which kind of, now that I look at it, I'll change my mind, does make sense to me. Mm-hmm. Just because of what he does. And I actually have them as a dark horse.
Interesting. Yeah, I do too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Eric, any thoughts on the Raiders? The Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, before you guys broke it down, I honestly didn't look much into the Raiders, so I don't know from what you guys are telling me, that's what I'm going by. I mean, I see them maybe improving by 2-3 wins the most. I don't. Mm-hmm. That division is tough. That division, I could see them pulling a Giants and not winning one game in that division. So I mean, that's how I look at it. And then Pete Carroll, again, when you get these first year head coaches with the Jets, with the other teams, you got to give them time to get their players in. It doesn't. Not in 1 year you're going to get all your players for your system. So I don't know. I don't see it this year with the Raiders. Maybe next year. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Unfortunately, Pete Carroll doesn't have a lot of time to get his players.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, Pete Carroll has 3 years tops.
Yeah, he only signed a 3-year contract, which is, I think, for him at his age is perfect.
It's a 3-year contract with a 4th-year team option. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting to see the Giants playing out there. I would love to go to that game, but
unfortunately,
yeah, it's not happening right now. Okay, let's Do we want to let's make an executive decision here?
I'm going by I'm going by your reaction here. I think we should just pass and just say this.
Yeah.
Good luck to all the fantasy players in our league this year. We move on.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Okay. Let's do our power rankings. And I figured, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but I basically broke it down into contenders, pretenders, dark horses, and completely out of it. And to guys, to be honest with you, I didn't really give much thought to the completely out of it because I think people can put 2 and 2 together.
Pretenders completely out is kind of the same thing. If you want to do it that way, because that's how I did it.
Well, pretenders, yeah. I mean, I also put pretenders of the way I did pretenders, and maybe we should have talked about this, was teams that people like think they're going to be good. Like the Bengals. I'll give you an example.
Yeah, my pretenders are like what you're saying now.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm also saying they are completely going to be out of it.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's go to let's start at the top with the contenders first. I'll go first.
And you want to do this by what? The contenders would be everyone within their division, or just who you have making the playoffs?
Oh, just it's basically who you have either making the playoffs or borderline making the playoffs. Because honestly, my contenders I only have 4 teams of my contenders. These are people who I think that are the best chances of winning the Super Bowl. So you can do it either way you want to. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, but I'm basically looking at this as the top teams that we think in the NFL and maybe some guys that are going to surprise us. So probably should have talked about this a little bit more. Anyway, we're fine. My contenders, I've got 4 teams. I've got the Bills, talking about going back to our conversation earlier. The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. Now, notice in this thing, I only have one NFC team that's like, I think that could win the Super Bowl. And I hate to say it, but the Eagles is one of those teams. Now, we all know at some point there's going to be a team this year that's going to come out of nowhere because it always happens, and they're going to push the envelope to be that contender. I think last year it was the Lions in some ways, and then we end up seeing what happened to them. They get bounced in the divisional round against the Commanders. So there's going to be that team that's going to come out of nowhere. We know that, but me going into the season, these are the 4 teams that I've highlighted as the top Super Bowl contenders to win it all. LeeJay, let's go to you next for your contenders.
Okay. Contenders: Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. I do like the Lions again as another contender.
Interesting. Okay.
And one contender that I don't know if anyone believes in them or not, but I don't really care. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, that's interesting. Ha! And what's the reason for that, sir?
They played Washington well last year in the playoffs. Todd Bowles always has them playing good defense. I believe in Baker Mayfield. A lot of people may not. I think this kid has guts.
Yeah.
I think he's tough. He's a dog, as they say. They have talent on offense. And last year was that first. It was like them knocking on the door last year.
Yeah, I agree. Right.
I think they kicked the door in this year.
Interesting.
And those are my contenders.
Interesting. Erik, your contenders.
Mine, it's how I broke this down was like a contender, and my contender and my pretender list. It's kind of like mimics itself because I look at it as a contender is a contender to make the playoffs, but also a pretender can make the playoffs and just get bumped in the first round.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky.
That's kind of how I did mine a little bit. Yeah.
So my contenders will be, obviously we all mentioned the Bills. We all mentioned the Chiefs. I think the Ravens, you got to put them on the list. I think the Bengals, is a contender. the Eagles. I have the Lions as well. And that's where I kind of was iffy on my next two guys would be the Packers and the Commanders. So the Commanders is the one that like what we talked about with Jaden Daniels. How I said I think they can make the playoffs, but they're kind of a pretender also because that's all I see them maybe getting bumped in the first round. So I kind of have them right in the middle. The Packers and the Commanders, I have them kind of right between pretender and contender.
That's interesting. Yeah, though I feel like I don't know, like the Commanders. I don't know. I know we just talked about them, but they're definitely one of the interesting teams. I do think that the NFC East is a 2-team race. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what the fuck the Dallas Cowboys think that they have, and the Giants are still kind of rebuilding, but you know, that'll play itself out as the season goes on. Okay, so my pretenders, the Bengals, and I think I man, watching that quarter, bro, Eric, you should watch it because it's interesting watching Joe Burrow put up MVP numbers last year, but their defense sucked.
Yeah. You know? Which signing Trey Hendrickson helps with that.
Right. Yeah. So it's just like it's crazy that the Bengals did not make the playoffs last year because of Joe Burrow. It's because of their defense. Anyway, this was interesting because I feel like you kind of have to put them in there in some ways. I do have the Texans as a pretender. They're probably like my biggest enigma in some ways because I always feel like they're good enough to win the division because that's a shitty division, but then they don't do anything in the playoffs. So, I've also got the Broncos, the Lions, and the 49ers as my pretenders. So, LeeJay, your pretenders.
My pretenders, I have a very long list here.
Oh God, okay.
Miami.
Yeah.
Well, this, like I said, this is kind of for me. This is like pretenders completely out of it. I look at it the same way, so I don't really. I didn't separate the list. Gotcha. So these pretenders, and they'll also be completely out of it as well. So that's Miami, New England, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Tennessee, 49ers, Seahawks, Bears, Panthers, and the Saints.
Interesting. It's funny. Well, I'll get into it because the Pats are interesting. I feel, in a lot of different ways. Eric, your pretenders.
Gotta always put the Cowboys on there because they always have these high hopes and it never works out.
That's very true.
Believe it or not, I'm gonna have a team on here that I have them winning their division, but I still think they're a pretender.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah,
and it's the Rams. I see the Rams as and then with Matthew Stafford health being up in the air too. The Dolphins, obviously, for what I said earlier. The Seahawks, I have them as a pretender. The Vikings, I mean, it hurts me to say because JJ McCarthy's a starter, but I kind of see them as a pretender too. Yeah. 49ers and the Steelers. The Steelers is a team that perennially makes the playoffs every year, but I don't see that working out this year.
I'm surprised. I honestly, I'm surprised that I feel like the Seahawks are kind of not being talked about, despite the fact that this guy's a quarterback now. What's his name?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah. It's like I feel as though they're flying under the radar completely. I mean, that could be to their benefit, to be quite honest. But I don't know. It's interesting that they're not being discussed more. Okay, so these are my dark horses, and the context for my dark horses are teams that I think that they'll probably make the playoffs or on the cusp of making the playoffs, but they're really not gonna, they're not Super Bowl contenders. The Pats. I am very curious to see how things turn out in New England for various reasons. I'll leave it at that. I hate to say this, but the Steelers, I do have them as a dark horse. Only because that's more of a Tomlin thing than a Rodgers thing. Because Tomlin, with just the consistency over the years. Anyway, Chargers, Commanders, because I do think they're going to take a step back. The Vikings, the Bears, believe it or not, and the Rams. So those are the teams that I have as my dark horses. LeeJay, your dark horses.
Both New York teams / New Jersey.
Interesting. Okay.
The Raiders, Dallas Cowboys, Eric's homeland now, Atlanta Falcons. And one of my very this dark horse is really dark. It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
Can we talk about moving on? How is that guy still the quarterback? No, seriously. How is Kyler Murray still? Yeah. Like at what point do you have to move on from him? You know.
I'm telling you that I don't really want to get into this really. I don't really want agita. A lot of it has to do with the contracts that we've discussed before.
Right.
And I just think that you draft these guys and you put garbage around them and you expect them to be the savior to your franchise, and then you say they're crap. Meanwhile, they're not crap. It's just that you put garbage around them. Could it be that? Could it be that he's garbage? I don't know. But you can't tell when all the pieces aren't in place and you expect to win in 1 or 2 years. It doesn't really work that way. But the time might be running out on him too.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree. Eric, your dark horses.
My dark horses, and LeeJay mentioned them earlier, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're one for me. Right beneath them, the Falcons. So that NFC South, that division, again, Panthers and Saints are horrendous in that division.
Yeah.
So you're talking about both the Bucs and the Falcons. That should be 4 wins right there. The Texans, I only say they're a dark horse because if you don't win that division, that AFC South is not good.
Yeah, it's not.
That's the only reason I say it. The Chargers, I'm high on this year. I agree with Will. I agree.
Sorry, Eric. You read your text message, William?
I did, motherfucker.
That's why we're laughing.
Okay.
It's the Mets losing 4-0.
Because his brother texted us, giving us updates.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Chargers is a team that I think could make some noise. The Patriots, believe it or not, I agree with you, Will. I think they're a dark horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Giants, maybe. I mean, like I said, I have them winning 8 games, so who knows? And then the Denver Broncos, I have them as a dark horse too.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, we don't really need to talk about this completely out of it in too much depth, but I mean, I don't know. I've got the Giants. Yeah, I've got the Giants and the Jets in that, and looking at the Browns, obviously have no fucking shot of anything. The Colts, to me, Titans as well. Titans are probably not going to be that much better. The Saints. So, I don't know if you guys have anybody. Now, here's the question. Out of all these teams, here's a good question for us to think about and to riff on. Out of all these teams that we have as being like upper echelon of the NFL, is there 1 or 2 guys that we can say, fuck, they're going to start the season like 0-4 and be out of it, out the gate? I don't know if there's a team. Maybe.
I haven't looked at anybody's schedules.
So
you want me to just pick a team?
Take an educated guess. Yeah, take an educated
Jacksonville
guess.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
That's because I feel like a lot of people have the Jaguars as like at the very least a dark horse in some ways. Eric, anybody comes to mind for you?
I did look at the schedule, but I can't remember. But I think the Jaguars is definitely one of them. I have no faith in the Bears. I honestly don't. The Saints and Panthers, obviously, but
gotcha.
Yeah, just the teams that we think are going to win maybe 2, 3, 4 games.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now comes the fun part. Well, one of the fun parts here. We are going to go through every division and give our predicted records. So what we'll do is we'll do the AFC first, and then we will say what our AFC playoff teams are. We'll do the NFC, yada 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 yada. But we'll do each division round robin. So NFC East, each three of us will give our records. Then we'll go to the North, South, yada yada yada. Okay, let's start in the AFC East. I'll get us started here. So I've got the Bills at 12-5, the Pats at 9-8, the Jets, as we said, 8-9, and the Dolphins at 8-9. LeeJay, your AFC East.
Bills 13-4, Jets 9-8, Miami 6-11,
No.
New England 4-13.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that out of hate?
No, I don't really hate the Pats. I told you that before. I don't really have a hatred for Tom Brady. I just don't think Vrabel coming in does help a lot, but I just still think they don't have the talent.
Interesting. Okay. Eric, your AFC East.
I have the Bills 13-4. I have the Pats. I agree with you, Will, 9-8. I have the Dolphins 7-10, and the Jets 5-12.
I see the theme here.
6-11. I'm sorry.
6-11.
I also didn't look at schedules. I just did this off the top of my head based off kind of like what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, and I looked at I will say I looked at the over-unders, and I did it that way. And I did same thing as last year. I looked at the over-unders, and I kind of just thought, based on my knowledge of what I think was going to happen. So I do like that we each have different ways we did this. Okay, but I see a theme here, like with the Bills. I can already see where this is going. Okay, AFC North. Ravens at 12-5. By the way, I'm going by the way the standings do it, just in case. Ravens, like in the newspaper. Ravens at 12-5. Bengals at 10-7. Steelers at 8-9. And I even can't believe I'm giving the Browns 4 wins, and I'm giving them 4-13. LeeJay, your AFC North.
Ravens 12-5. Bengals 11-6. Steelers 5-12. Browns 4-13.
Eric.
Ravens 13-4. Bengals 12-5.
Oh wow. Okay.
Steelers 8-9. And the Browns 4-13.
This might be the division where we have the most similarities. Okay, AFC South. I've got the Texans at 10-7, the Jaguars at 8-9, the Titans at 6-11, and the Colts at 4-13. LeeJay, your AFC South.
My AFC South. We're gonna start with the division winners. The Indianapolis Colts at 10-7.
You piece of shit.
The Houston Texans 10-7, Jaguars 5-12, and the Titans 4-13.
Wow, you went there, huh? That explains the hat now. Eric,
I got
South.
The Texans 10-7. I got the Colts 8-9.
Jesus.
I got the Jaguars 7-10, and the Titans 5-12.
Wow,
if I think about that, according to what we said by records, I think Eric is going to come the closest to that AFC South. If I'm being honest.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. AFC West. I've got the Chiefs at 11-6, the Broncos at 10-7, the Chargers at 9-8, and the Raiders at 7-10. LeeJay.
Chiefs 12-5. Because until anything else changes, that's what it's always going to be.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I still like the Broncos. I'm going to have them at 10-7. I got the Chargers at 10-7 as well, and then the Raiders at 9-8.
That's a good division right there.
Yeah. Eric.
I got the Chiefs 13-4. Again, like what LeeJay said, until it happens, I'm going to keep going with them. Chargers at 11-6. I got the Broncos 9-8, and the Raiders 5-12.
We know why you picked the Chargers to be that. We know why.
Harbaugh?
Yeah, we know why.
He's a good coach, bro. He's a good coach.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my 7 playoff teams in the AFC.
Yep.
Bills. These are the division winners, by the way.
We'll do that. Actually, do that, and then pick the other.
Yeah. So Bills, Ravens, Texans, and Chiefs. Those are the division winners. My other 3. This was tough. The Bengals. I think they're gonna have a bounce back. The Broncos, and here is my dark horse, the New England Patriots. Those are my 7. LeeJay, your 7.
Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and as I mentioned before, the Colts. I have the remaining 3 getting in: the Broncos, the Bengals, and I was up in the air about this between the Chargers and the Texans. And I'm going to stick with my gut, and I'm going to say the Chargers and the Texans do not make the playoffs.
Interesting. Okay. Eric, your playoff teams for the AFC.
Winning the division, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans. My AFC wild card is the same as LeeJay. Chargers, Bengals, and Broncos.
Interesting. We have a lot of similar, at least for the AFC, teams making the playoffs. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let us go to the NFC, and we'll start with the NFC East. I will go first here again. I've got the Eagles at 12-5, the Commanders at 10-7, the Cowboys at 8-9, and the Giants at 7-10. LeeJay, your NFC East.
I got the Eagles at 13-4, the Commanders at 11-6, Dallas at 10-7, and the Giants at 9-8.
So you got everybody. You got everybody finishing over 500. That's very
finishing over 5. Yep.
Yeah. Eric.
Eagles 12-5, Commanders 10-7, Cowgirls 9-8.
Cover your ears, Danny.
And the Giants 8-9.
All right. NFC North, which I think is, again, not to beat a dead horse, but one of the toughest divisions. Okay. Packers at 11-6, Lions at 10-7, Vikings at 9-8, and the Bears at 8-9. LeeJay, you're North.
Lions 12-5, Packers 11-6, Minnesota 9-8, Bears 7-10.
Eric.
Lions 11-6, Packers 10-7, Vikings 8-9, and Bears 4-13.
Oof!
Wow, you're really okay.
Get that NFC polish, baby.
Damn. NFC South. Bucks. This is the shit division for me. Bucks at 9-8. Falcons at 8-9. Panthers at 6-11. And the Saints at 5-12. This is going to be that division that, like, the team that wins the division could be under 500. So, anyway, LeeJay, you're South.
Tampa Bay 11-6, Atlanta 10-7, New Orleans 5-12. No, 6-11. Carolina 6-11.
I got the Bucks at 11-6, winning the division. I got the Falcons at 10-7. I got the Panthers at 5-12, and the Saints 2-15.
Damn, you're really down on the Saints, huh?
Yeah, I'm down with them.
Shit. All right, NFC West. I've got both the 49ers and the Rams finishing at 10-7, but I'll put the caveat that I've got the 49ers winning the division. They'll win the tiebreaker or whatnot. So 49ers and Rams 10-7. I don't know why. Something in my mind put it to have it that way. Cardinals at 8-9, and the Seahawks at 8-9. I think that division will be a little bit tougher than people give it credit for. LeeJay, your NFC West.
To piggyback off what Eric said before, because I have the Rams the same way, where they're going to win the division, but once they make it to the playoff, they're going to show you that they're a pretender. So I have them at 10-7, but they'll make the playoffs, but they'll be out it quick. I have Arizona at 9-8, San Francisco at 9-8, and Seattle at 8-9.
Pretty similar. Eric, your NFC West.
So, Will, it's funny you had the Rams and the 49ers at 10-7 because I originally had that. And yeah.
That's funny.
And then the last minute before we got on, I changed it. So I had the Rams 10-7, and I had the 49ers 9-8. The only reason I changed that is because I don't have the 49ers making the playoffs. So I figured, that's probably some tiebreaker stuff there.
Yeah, right.
So 49ers 9-8, Seahawks 8-9, and the Cardinals 5-12.
Okay. So our playoff teams for the NFC, obviously the division winners I have as the Eagles, the Packers, the Bucks, and the 49ers. My other three teams are the Commanders, the Lions, and the Rams. LeeJay, your playoff teams at NFC.
Philadelphia, Rams, Lions, Tampa Bay. Those are the division winners.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Commanders making it, Green Bay, and just for you guys, the Dallas Cowboys.
Piece of shit. Eric, your playoff teams.
Division winners: Eagles, Rams, Lions, Bucks. The wild card, I got the Commanders, the Packers, and the Falcons.
Oh, a little dirty bird.
Yeah,
remember that shit.
What was the thing? Please don't.
LeeJay, what was the thing that they do when that Kirk Cousins was doing? Mike, can we take a timeout? Kirk Cousins got to be the whitest white guy.
God! I can't.
I mean, what was the thing they were doing? Eric, do you know what the thing that they do?
Oh my God!
Like
yeah. That
what's the song called that they use that they celebrate and they all like go like this to side to side?
God, what is that called?
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now, dude. It is hilarious to watch the good Christian boy Kirk Cousins do like who knows if it's like some sex song or something. Atlanta Falcons celebration. Let me see. Hold on. Celebration song.
Is this some strip joint
swag
song?
Surfing.
Yes, swag surfing. Swag surfing. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
He told you that's him telling you he's white, but he's black from the waist down.
Eric, you really should watch this series. It's Kirk
I'll
Cousins
check it out.
He's a very interesting
the second season
character.
was this one just now.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. Okay. My AFC title game is the Bills versus the Ravens, and I'm going to give you my winner, which will tell you who I think is going to make the Super Bowl. And I feel like this is going to be for all of us, maybe. I've got the Bills going to the Super Bowl. Now, notice I don't have the Bills beating the Chiefs because I think the magic might be done with the Chiefs, believe it or not. But so I've got the Bills versus Chiefs and the Bills going to the Super Bowl. LeeJay, your AFC title game and your winner from that game to the Super Bowl.
Like I said before, this is put up or shut up, and it has to be against the Chiefs. So by disclaimer, it's going to have to be the Chiefs in order for him. Because, I just like drama.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Bills versus Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and I have the Bills finally ending that and making it to the Super Bowl.
I feel like we're all going to have the same Super Bowl winner.
I feel it's going to be the same ending
AFC.
again.
Yeah. Eric, your AFC title game and winner.
I got the Bills and I got the Chiefs. and I got the Chiefs finally beating them, making it to the Super Bowl.
You mean the Bills?
The Bills. I'm sorry. The Bills.
Okay. Jesus, bro, this is funny.
My NFC. You want me to do NFC now?
Oh well, let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
NFC title game. I've got the Eagles versus the Packers, and I actually have the Packers winning that to go to the Super Bowl. So my Super Bowl is Bills versus Packers. LeeJay, your NFC title game and winner.
So I was going back and forth with this so much, and I finally just said, you know what? I'm going to be different because that's William knows who I am. I like to be different.
Yeah, you like
so my NFC championship is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Holy shit.
See, but I can kind of see that happening though. So
and I have unfortunately that's where the magic will run out for Tampa Bay, and I have Philadelphia making it back to the Super Bowl.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Erik, your NFC title game and your winner out of the NFC.
So I had the Eagles, obviously, and I was contemplating the Buccaneers, believe it or not.
Oh shit!
Because they were one of my dark horses. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with. Damn, I'm still debating it.
He's gonna say Detroit.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say Detroit. I'm gonna say the Commanders. I'm gonna say Eagles Commanders.
Wow, the Commanders.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
And then I got the Eagles beating them and returning to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl 60, baby. A nice round, a round number. So, my winner, I feel like we're all going to pick the same thing. My winner for Super Bowl 60 is the Buffalo Bills. I think they finally break the curse, and there will be many broken tables in Buffalo if this happens. So, my winner for the Super Bowl is the Buffalo Bills. LeeJay.
Well, unfortunately for the Bills, we ain't doing that here, buddy. The Philadelphia Eagles will be the Super Bowl champions again.
Oh, I hate that.
That should be fun.
Maybe they will actually burn the city down this time. Hopefully.
Oh, that's why I'm hoping they win.
Erik, your Super Bowl winner.
Eagles versus Bills. If I could quote Chris Berman, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I got them finally winning it all.
Dude, that city might burn to the. I mean, speaking of a city that might burn to the ground, can you imagine? I can. You know what I can envision? I can envision somebody being stupid enough to try to go over to Niagara Falls,
oh boy,
in a barrel. That's a celebration, dude. I'm serious. That's what I can see happening. Okay. I mean, I do think it's interesting that we all have the Bills making it to the Super Bowl, though. I mean,
no, we don't. This is a pure thing in sports. We don't learn.
No.
This is the epitome of we don't learn.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. All right. It is trivia time.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
This is gonna be okay. So let me explain the rules to everybody. And I explained them for Erik and LeeJay. But by the way, I just wanna test something. Because I want to see how the internet connection is, because this is gonna matter when you guys give your password. When I count down to 1, I'm gonna do 3, 2, 1. Can you each say what your beep in is, so I just know that this is like as fair as possible? Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Stearns.
These.
Okay. There's actually a bit of a delay when I say 1. So you guys have a bit of a delay, but we'll be fine. Because I honestly don't expect
we can figure it out.
Yeah. I honestly don't expect you guys to get a lot of these. So there are 70 questions.
We changed. Okay? Stupid. Jeez.
Yeah, you hear this fucking guy? Piece of shit.
There's how many questions?
There are 70, but listen.
Yeah, how many?
It's first to 15 points.
What? 70 questions, bro. I have to eat.
No, I know, but this is not gonna. It shouldn't take that long. So here's the thing: what we're gonna do.
Jesus Christ!
So here's what we're gonna do. There are 2 ways to do this. We're gonna but don't forget there are also 2 pointers, 2-point questions. This is how we're gonna do this.
Okay.
Because it is getting late. we will do either the first person that gets the 15 points or whoever has the most points at the end of 15 minutes. So this way we're not fucking here all night. The reason why I picked 70 questions is because
Yeah, you want to give yourself enough questions. I get it.
That's the thing. Yeah, there has to be enough questions. Now, let me explain the rules, everybody. This is kind of Jeopardy style. So, LeeJay and Erik, they have their buzzword. LeeJay is Stearns for David Stearns, so the Mets, and Erik is D's nuts or D's. That's what I'll hear first is D's. Each correct answer is 1 point. But if LeeJay buzzes in first and he gets the question wrong, Erik has the opportunity to steal the question and get the point. It's like Jeopardy in that way. Now, once we get to a certain point, before we go on to the next question, one of you guys can ask for a 2-point question. So the like double Jeopardy in a way. So it's on you guys to tell me if you want to go for a 2-point question. I will once we get to like 5, 6, 7 points, I'll start asking you guys in case you forget. Again, the first person to 15 or has the highest score after 15 minutes, I'm gonna put the clock on here, the timer here, is winning. And now, guys, for the winner, whenever us three get together in Atlanta for our summit that we've been putting off forever, the winner, the loser has to buy the winner, dinner or whatever, or beers or whatever, pay the bill at the tab. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow, there's a huge fucking delay for whatever reason. So this is gonna be interesting. Okay.
It's funny because I hear him speaking at the same time as me.
Which is it's I don't know what it is. It's very odd. It's
so
very
I'm thinking that as long as him and I are on the same page, we could be honest and just tell you who said it first. You know what I mean, Erik?
Yeah.
Because him and I, he just said, "Let's go." I said, "Yes, sir." And I heard it coming at the same time. I don't know if you heard the same thing, Erik.
I did, yeah.
Okay, so right, very good.
See, it's funny because you guys are coming into me like you're in the room, but for some reason when I did that 3, 2, 1 thing, there was a delay for you guys telling me your word. But then like right now, LeeJay, as I'm talking to you and you're nodding your head, you're nodding your head about the same time you should be as I'm talking. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Anyway.
All right, let's see what happens. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me get the timer to 50.
Got any game show music?
No, I do not. I thought about that, but I do not. What are we doing here? I'm trying to think of. Oh, let me do it on my watch. It's better because it'll go off. All right, and there goes the timer. Okay, first question. Let's see here. Let's start off with an easy one, kind of. Okay, here's a question. Who was the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft?
My memory sucks.
Are you fucking serious? Nobody. No one wants to guess.
2020.
2020. That was
COVID.
Yeah. Oh yeah, COVID was the first round pick. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Wow. Okay. That's supposed to be a medium question. Holy shit. Do you guys want to get
5 years ago? Like,
but guys, this is I told you this is not going to be easy. You want to?
Yeah,
I'll tell you guys.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. It was Joe Burrow. My God, we just talked about him.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. Holy shit. Do I have to get easier here? My God. Let's see.
Just keep going.
This is coming from the guy that's memories like horseshit. This is why he decided to be the guy that gave the questions as opposed to answer the questions.
Okay, here's one. Who was the youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl?
wasn't this guy?
Don't forget to buzz in.
You
have a guess.
Yeah, I know.
Larry is probably screaming at the fucking at you guys right now.
I have a couple people in mind, but I don't know if I'm right, so I'm just gonna
youngest guy.
Stearns.
Okay, go ahead, LeeJay.
I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts.
That is incorrect. Eric, you have a chance to steal a point here.
Oh shit!
I think I know my second answer, but I don't know.
I'm just gonna blurt it out. Shit.
Take a guess, man. It gets you a point.
Was it Joe Burrow? Well, Joe Burrow didn't make the Super Bowl. What I'm talking about.
No, he did.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, did no. Yeah, Joe Burrow. I'm gonna say Joe Burrow.
It is not Joe Burrow. It is Ben Roethlisberger. He was 23.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I know it's a tough one.
That.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
He looked older than 23. Juan
Soto. You rapist.
Allegedly.
All right, here's one that hopefully one of you guys gets. Jesus. Okay. Who was the first player to reach 500 career touchdown passes?
These.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'm going to say Dan Marino.
That is incorrect.
Dan Marino.
LeeJay, you ever... Nope, no, not Dan Marino. LeeJay, you have a chance to steal here. There is a delay. But this is... We're good. LeeJay, do you want to try to steal this?
Now the delay's coming in.
Yeah.
Sure. Joe Montana.
No, it is Peyton Manning. He was the first player to reach 500 career touchdowns. Wow, we're off to a flying start here. Now, here's the
why
opposite.
You got 70 questions.
Keep it at Jets Giants questions.
No, that's not so easy. Here's the opposite question. Which quarterback has thrown the most career interceptions?
Stearns.
Yes, go ahead, LeeJay.
I'm going to say Brett Favre.
That is correct. Holy shit.
That's
have
right.
somebody finally has a point. Hooray, hooray. Okay. Here's an interesting one, I think. Which player is the all-time leader in career pick sixes, meaning interceptions for touchdowns? He's a defensive player, obviously.
Shit. I don't think I know this.
Stearns.
Go ahead, LeeJay.
This is a shot in the dark, but I'm going to take old school Darryl Green.
No, it is not Darryl Green.
Damn.
Eric, can you steal here?
I'm going to say Peanut Tillman from the Bears.
No, it was Rod Woodson with 12.
Okay.
I thought you guys would get that one. Okay. Oh, here's an interesting one. Which wide receiver has the most career touchdowns after Jerry Rice? So he's number 2 on the list, behind Jerry Rice.
After Jerry Rice?
Mm-hmm.
Stearns.
Go ahead, LeeJay.
I'm just guessing now. Whatever comes to my man. Randy Moss.
Correct. It is Randy Moss.
I'm going to get shut out here.
So it's 2-0, Eric. And we have
2-0 LeeJay.
8 minutes and 51 seconds left. Okay. This is an interesting one. Which quarterback has the highest single season passer rating?
Stearns.
LeeJay, go ahead.
Brock Purdy.
No, it is not Brock Purdy. Shit. Eric, you have a chance to steal here.
Oh shit. Is it Andrew Luck?
It is not. It is Mr. Rogers.
Oh
He had
boy.
a 122.5 passer rating in 2011.
Thought they were going to say Daniel Jones.
Can you imagine? Jesus Christ.
This year.
Let's see. Okay. Who was the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in a season?
The first quarterback to throw 5,000 yards in a season.
These.
Eric?
I'm gonna say Dan Marino again.
You are correct. It was Dan Marino.
On the board.
2-1 with 7 minutes left. Okay. Fuck it. Who was the last quarterback to win back-to-back NFL MVP awards?
These.
Ah, shit.
Go ahead, Eric.
Peyton Manning?
No, it is not Peyton Manning. LeeJay, your chance to steal.
I'm going to go with John Elway.
No. It is Mr. Rogers.
Oh God.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Back-to-back what MVPs?
Back-to-back NFL MVP awards.
And NFL MVPs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I just yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting one. Who was the last non-quarterback to win NFL MVP?
NFL MVP?
Yeah. He was the last person that was not a quarterback to win the NFL MVP.
Shit. These. I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna say Emmitt Smith.
No. LeeJay, do you have a chance to steal here?
Ah, shoot. Wouldn't waste any time. Terrell Davis.
No, it was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
I knew it was a run. It had to be a running back.
I just couldn't figure out which one.
Yeah. That's kind of a tough one. Okay. I am going to go. Let's see here. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Oh, okay.
Clock is ticking here, buddy.
Yeah, but this I'm trying to find. I mean, 2-1.
You got the questions on the list. You might as well answer. You might as well ask them.
Right.
You picked them. You asked them.
Who is the only player to win both the NFL MVP and the Super Bowl MVP in the same season?
Oh boy.
These.
He knows it. That was quick.
I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers.
No, it was not Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Let's go with Peyton.
No, it was not Peyton. It was Mr. Kurt Warner. That was 1999.
Definitely wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay. Oh boy, I'm just throwing this one out here just to kind of see. Okay. Who was the NFL commissioner during the AFL-NFL merger?
Oh, jeez.
What? I don't care about these people.
Paul Tagliabue? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not even going to think.
It was Pete Rozelle.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, we're really we've got 3 minutes left, but I'm gonna extend it by another 5 minutes here. Let's see. And guys, for people who are listening, please please write in. And I'm curious to know, like,
curse
were
us
these
out.
like that difficult, or I think these are fair ones. Shout out to ChatGPT, by the way, because they just helped me out tremendously to find questions. Okay.
I don't believe anything ChatGPT does. No.
This might be no. I double checked with the answers, and they're right. Who holds the record for most career sacks?
These.
Yes.
Bruce Smith.
Correct. Wow, we're tied at 2-2. Okay. Here's a good one. Which player has the longest interception return for a touchdown in NFL history? It's 108 yards.
Oh.
I know this, and I can't think of it right now.
I'm going to take a shot. These.
Yes.
Is it Cromartie?
No, it is not. LeeJay, you have a chance to steal and take a lead.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. Just give the answer. I could just say anything.
It's Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That wasn't going to be my guess, but yeah.
All right, since you guys are tied 2-2, I'm going to pull some out of the 2-point questions. Since we're getting down to like the end here. We need a fucking winner here. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting one. For 2 points. I mean, this you guys are totally like because I would be guessing on this one. Which NFL franchise has the most Hall of Famers enshrined?
D's.
Yes.
Green Bay Packers.
No. LeeJay?
I feel like there's an obvious answer, but that's not the answer. Hall of Fame induct. Oh my God.
They've got the most.
I have another team in mind, but I can't say.
The Steelers.
No.
Damn it.
It is the Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay.
You were in the right division, Eric. All right. Let's add another 5 minutes. Because we're tied here at 2-2. Oh, boy. I did not think that this was going to go like this.
Bro, you're asking questions from the 60s. Pete Rozelle. What do you think?
I mean, come on, man. Let's go.
Once again, Eric, don't take this personal. This guy doesn't remember what he had for fucking breakfast. And he's over here taking shots. So we're going to leave it at that. Okay? Because trust me, he'd be sitting here just like us. It's all fun and games when you got the fucking answers in front of you. And you called on ChatGPT. Okay, Alex Trebek.
Okay, who was the only player to win a Heisman Trophy, win a Super Bowl, and be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
D's.
Yes.
Charles Woodson.
There it is.
No, it is not Charles Woodson.
What?
Oh, it's not?
It might be this is supposed to be the first person that this happened to. The first person. Sorry.
You said win a Heisman?
Yeah. Heisman Trophy, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
Yep. And be elected to the
Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that was my guess. Oh my God.
You guys want to give another shot? About who this could be? There's somebody who did it who played earlier than him. So if Woodson did do it, this guy did it first.
So a Heisman Super Bowl winner and goes to the Hall of Fame? Holy shit.
Actually, there only is one.
No clue.
There only is one person who has done it. So the Woodson is not. There only is one person.
Wait a second. Woodson win a Super Bowl with the Packers?
Was he on that Packers team?
I think he
beat
was.
The Patriots?
I think so.
The one that beat the Patriots or the one that Rodgers was on?
So he won the Heisman.
He definitely won the Heisman.
Right, but there's another guy.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right, but he's not the first guy to do it.
Yeah, but you're saying that this is the only guy.
Yeah,
the only guy or the first guy?
Yeah. It's the first guy who did it. Sorry.
Okay.
No, he fucked you over, Eric.
No, you guys can go again.
Let's move on to the next question. Just give the answer. I don't want Eric to get screwed because he should have been asked.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen. Okay.
Okay.
I would have never got it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Wow, I feel like I'm running out of questions here. Believe it or not, because I don't want to ask something that's too obvious, but I'm trying to
obvious
get you guys
to who?
What's the answer? I'm trying to get you guys to fucking get answers here. This is. Oh, okay. Now, one of you guys should get this, maybe. Who is the only kicker ever drafted in the first round?
Stearns shit. Damn it, he got it.
Go ahead, Eric.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Yes.
There it is. He got it.
There it is. All right, Eric leads 3-2. We're getting late.
Wasn't that a 2-point question?
Yeah.
No, that was a 1-point question.
He doesn't know how to add.
That was a 1-point question.
It's not as strong. Oh, now I'm so confused. First it wasn't Charles Woodson. Now it's not a 2-point question. After he said he was doing 2-point questions, I'm so confused.
No, but I said that I was gonna. If I did a 2-point question, that I would tell you guys that I would do it.
All right.
What do we want to add? Another 5 minutes here? How much longer do we want to go?
Sure.
We'll go 5 and that's it. After this 5, stop it. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I'm starving.
Let's see. Okay. Who was the first tight end to record 1,000 receiving yards in a season? This is a 1-point question, by the way.
Stearns.
Yes.
Stearns.
Yes. Go ahead, LeeJay.
I'm gonna go with Antonio Gates.
No, that's not it. Eric, has to steal here.
These, I'm gonna say Tony Gonzalez.
No, it was Kellen Winslow Sr. in 1980.
Oh.
To your point, Eric, we're going back to the 60s.
I mean, I told you guys this is going to be trivia.
We can't even get recent, like at least 2000. We're going back to when we had fucking baby brain watching football.
Okay, here's one. Here's a recent one. In the 2000s. Which team did Peyton Manning beat in his final Super Bowl?
These.
Yes.
The Bears?
No.
What?
LeeJay.
Oh no, that's when he was on the Colts. Shit.
Yes, the last one he won was he was with, I guess he lost to Seattle. Oh, Carolina Panthers. Stearns, Carolina Panthers.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was Super Bowl 50. Okay, we're tied. This is it. I'm making an executive decision with 3 minutes left. Because this has not turned out the way I thought it was going to turn out.
In 1948.
Who built the first locker room in the NFL? Fuck out of here.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Larry's gonna be like, I got all of them. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. What can I do here for
Larry's Rain Man? That's a compliment, Larry.
Let's see. What's a good one here that's fair, but also somewhat. Okay, here's one. This is recent. So think about this, guys. This is a recent one. This is for the winner. Who won the NFL MVP in 2019?
The NFL MVP.
NFL MVP in 2019.
Wow. Holy shit, man.
Wow.
It's definitely not an obvious answer.
I'm blanking right now.
Yeah, I have no clue. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Do I just okay? It was Lamar Jackson.
Oh wow.
It was an obvious answer.
It was.
It definitely was an obvious answer.
You automatically think like your mind automatically goes to Mahomes, but it's not
right.
that.
Yes, yes.
And
no,
then
I
just drew a blank there. That's what that's how my mind was working there.
Okay, that's another tiebreaker here. Another recent I asked you guys about 2020 overall pick. Who was the first overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft?
I hate these draft questions. 2021, that was 4 years ago. 2021.
D's. I'm going to say.
I got an answer.
Is it Joe Burrow?
No, Joe Burrow was 2020. Yeah.
Shit. Damn it.
Do you want to try again? Since we already did Joe Burrow, I'll give you another shot.
I have a feeling he was a defensive player for some reason. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, I'm stumped.
You want to pass? Okay. LeeJay?
I think I'm a year short, but I'm going to stick with my answer that's in my head, and I'm going to go with the long-haired fella, Trevor Lawrence.
Sir, you are correct. It was Trevor Lawrence.
Why I thought defense? I don't know.
And with that,
and that was Williams' version of trolling.
Winner. It was, yes. It was. Because I was like, mother, we talked about this fucking guy. Somebody's got to remember who the fuck, what he was fucking drafted. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. Well.
That was like pulling teeth.
Yeah, that was. Maybe we do not do that next year. I did not think that was going to go the way it did.
The archives go so deep in my fucking brain.
Which I'm kind of surprised because
I didn't start retaining information until I really started watching. That's the best way I could say it. And then it was a way I did it, and then I just lost a lot of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, with me, it's like I'm kind of like in that mid 90s to like maybe mid 2000s. That's kind of my zone.
Gotcha.
Like anything too soon, anything like 4 or 5 years ago, for some reason I don't remember.
That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think we'll have to figure out something for something to do for next year. Okay, we're at the end now. I just want to say two housekeeping things for everybody. You will be listening to this episode on Thursday, August 28th, because that'll be a week exactly a week before the first game of the season, which obviously we know by now is the Cowboys versus the Eagles. So, I can, you're not going to get this episode until then, and it's not really going to matter when you listen to it. So here's the thing. We are not going to do an episode next week. I repeat, there is going to be no episode the first week of September because guess what? We're not going to record on Labor Day. That's not going to happen. So our next episode will be September 8th. It'll be obviously after the first major NFL week 1. So look forward to that. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about the Mets by then as well. We'll probably have a lot clearer picture of what's going on with the Mets. And yeah, this was fun. This was good. I am Will Hernandez here for LeeJay Parrilla and Erik Pimentel, and we will see y'all next time. Don't forget, September 8th, guys, next episode. Peace out.
Later.
See ya.